WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A good karma Brands radio station. Don.
I was fighting with obesity. I wore...
You were losing.
Hahn.
John, Peter, thank you. Alan, I hope you make the team.
And Rosenberg.
Richard, have you ever heard of Brazzers?
No.
This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
You know, there's not too many times as a Giant fan you can actually be proud of your team and feel good about their performance and to say, I'm a Giant fan. Today would be one of those days. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday.
Yes.
Don LaGreca here from an undisclosed location in Tampa. Alan Hahn, an undisclosed location in Suffolk County. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, that was an entertaining game, wasn't it? And it was like following along as best I could from the Garden last night during the Knicks preseason game, which was for a preseason game, that was really entertaining. But you know, we'll get into that when the season comes. But I was following along, and I kept saying, "Wait, they're winning. Wait, they're still winning. Wait, they got the bigger lead." And I listened to the call on the way home, driving home. Mm-hmm. This morning, I was so compelled to say, "All right, I got to watch this game back." Right? Like, you got to do it. Like, I got to see it. So what it really looked like, what it felt like, and that if you're like that for a fan is one of those sort of like cathartic moments where you finally can just sit there and pound your chest and you can finally feel good. As we said going into this season, these are the moments where you try to tell yourself, we got the guy. It starts with that. Listen to the way Dable talks about him.
Yeah.
Did you hear him say son when he did the team address? Yeah. He said son. And then when he said my quarterback, our quarterback, he had to, like little things like that. His postgame, I was watching his postgame, and you could just see he's got a pride in the team, but he also knows, like, what's the Parcells line? Don't give him a gold jacket yet, right? Like that. I love that. I love that he's so excited that it's almost like he knows his job might be saved.
Well,
it's
that's
almost
part
relief,
of it, right?
right?
Well, there's so many places to start, just from a Giants fan perspective, is that you had an entertaining game, which you haven't had many. The only entertaining game really all season was the Dallas game, and that ended at the way that it did in overtime in disappointing fashion.
Right.
But you were kind of just happy because it was at least an entertaining game that you didn't have to slog through like you have to do every Thursday, Sunday, or Monday night over the last few seasons.
Last 10 years.
Then it's against the Philadelphia Eagles and Saquon Barkley. And listen, I love Saquon, all right? But he has been a bit much lately, all right? So I was not disappointed at all that they beat the Philadelphia Eagles, that they beat Sirianni. That was nice to do. And then you do it on national television, Alan. This isn't the 1 o'clock with Chris Myers on Fox.
No. God bless
where
Chris
10%
Myers.
of the country sees it. No offense to Chris, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
Right. No, it's
all right. This is national television, so the nation is getting a chance to see your team actually look good and be entertaining and win the game and beat the defending Super Bowl champions. And then you just touched on something that I think we need to dive into deeply. And that is the Freudian slip of my quarterback. Because it is his quarterback, Alan. Daniel Jones was never his quarterback. Daniel Jones was, hey, we got him. Let's give him a half-pregnant contract that we can get out of in 2 years. I'll try to fix him. But you could see the way the relationship was, him screaming at him in the sideline, that this is not my guy. Give me somebody to work with. Give me my quarterback. Well, they traded back into the first round, 25th overall pick, to get his quarterback. And you see how giddy he is to work with a guy that he believes he can help. Now, he may have screwed up Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones needed to get out of Dodge. So I'm not like complimenting Dable in that sense. But what I'm saying is that he has his quarterback, and that's why he's giddy. Not just that it's a quarterback, Alan, to save his job. That's a given. But it's his guy, somebody he feels he can work with, and that's why I think he's so excited.
A quarterback worth climbing into the concussion tent and pulling him out.
And getting fined, I'm sure.
A quarterback where it's like the minute Russell Wilson went out there and they snap one play, is like, I got to get this guy back out here. This is terrible. I don't want to watch this crap. This is going to get me fired. Like a quarterback that's how strongly you feel about, and I've told you, like I've followed this from the very beginning, the pre-draft process with the Giants. Like Dable he took to him in the pre-draft process and absolutely loved him to a point where he was trying to squelch how much he liked him because he didn't. You know how it is with the draft. If you start talking a little too good or like a little too much about somebody, other teams start, well, why do they like him so much? Maybe we need to look into it, right? So he did not want to give it away that much. But, man, he just loved everything about this kid. And that's why the move up to get him, the way they were able to get him too, the fact that no one else caught on to what Jaxson Dart has about him that everybody's looking for. He's got a lot of Baker Mayfield in him, doesn't he? The moxie, the punchiness, all that kind of stuff. Now, again, you're now in a place as a Giants fan, Don, where while you're excited about the future and add Cam Scatterbo to this too, because that guy, like the two of them together, this is the best buddy cop movie we've seen in a long time. You know, what they've done where it's, Bill and Ted Save New York. These two have come in and they have exactly, you remember the famous line from Batman, this town needs an enema. Well, that franchise certainly did. And that's exactly, they injected, no pun intended, fun into that franchise and a bravado that both of them said they recognized when they showed up at camp. And they looked around going, man, this place is dull. Like, we got to pick it up around here. Everybody's hanging their heads. Like, they knew that what they needed was their kind of energy. And when they had the opportunity to bring it, they did. And did you see the kid rip off his shirt, him and Ryan Fitzpatrick, and they're shirtless? Like, that's the kind of stuff. To quote the Eagles, we haven't had that spirit here since 1969. Like, they have really needed this. And you can think about now the excitement of the future and telling yourself you remember when it turned. But, Don, how much are you right now, just a part of you, thinking about the recent past and going, man, we could actually be at least 3-3 here. Like,
I'm trying not.
New Orleans game, like how hard is it now to avoid the what ifs and what could be because of what this looks like? I'm
trying not to do that, but how can you not? Right? Yeah. That's a winnable game against Dallas. You've got the lead. You lose. You had 2 possessions in overtime to win that game and didn't. Turned the ball over 5 times against New Orleans. That's the one that stings,
the
right?
New Orleans
at least the one with Russell Wilson.
He didn't play in early on, so you can't count like Washington. Right. You can't count Dallas. You can't count those because he wasn't playing.
Right. The Saint one is going to kill you. But what I guess gets me off the ledge is this comes with a young team. This comes with a young quarterback.
That's right.
You're going to turn the ball over. And, listen, Slayton made mistakes, and he's the veteran on the team. But Scatterbo had a fumble, and clearly we saw the interceptions. 3 turnovers were responsible from the quarterback, Jaxson Dart against New Orleans. And New Orleans is not a good team, and they should have won that game. But I don't think it's ever going to come down to the Giants missing the playoffs by a game. It's still a work in progress. So I think you got to just take everything with a grain of salt because it is a young team and it is a young quarterback and it is a young running back. So things are not going to be perfect on their way to what you hope is going to be turning the corner in the future. If Dable and Shane stay and this defense continues to play the way it should, at least on paper, that you're starting to see glimpses of what this is going to be. So I'm not going to get caught up in what could have happened. I want to get caught up in what is going to happen.
Okay.
It's one thing to lose. Like, that's the thing with the Jets. You're losing, but you're not seeing the future, right? Because you don't have the quarterback. At least with the Giants, you're seeing a glimpse of what it could be. So you don't want to constantly lose because we've done enough of that. But if it's part of the growing pain process of learning and making them that much better in the future, then I can live with it.
Now, how much of what we saw last night was the Giants and how much of it was the Eagles? Not to wet blanket this, but there is another side to the story. How much of the Eagles going through what they're going through is a big part. Like, you want to take advantage of your opponent when they're down, right? This is defending Super Bowl champs. They were 4-0 just 2 weeks ago, and now it looks like they're in turmoil. So as you're watching this, how much is it for you? We caught them at exactly the right time.
Without question. I mean, listen, every winner's got a dance partner, right? I mean,
Yep.
You win because of what you do, but you always need somebody to kind of screw up on the other side. Greg Butler used to always say that every offensive big play is 11 guys on offense doing the right thing and one guy doing the wrong thing on defense. Like, you need that. Very seldom do you beat a team or does a play work and everybody on the other side that tried to stop it did it exactly the way they should. You always have to benefit from somebody else's mistakes. That's a broken team, Philadelphia. I don't know what's going on there. I was on with Kay earlier with Andrew Gunling, and we'll get into how devastating a day that was for the city of Philadelphia last night.
Oh, boy.
But he agreed that it's a broken team. Something's going on there. And you don't usually say that about a Super Bowl champion team, but I think there's an issue with the coach that they were able to overcome last year because of the assistants that they hired and just how talented they are, but they lost some pieces on the offensive line. There's a disconnect there. Maybe it's the hangover from the Super Bowl or whatever, but they kind of lucked their way into the 4 straight wins, and now they're getting exposed. But Alan, other than just the apprehension of me being all in because the Giants have disappointed me so much lately, and I still felt that Philadelphia was going to win that game, until the Giants finally put them away late. But the Giants really beat them pillar to post. I mean, they were the better team the whole way.
Yeah, better in the red zone.
And you see the
shut them down on
dysfunction
third down. Like Burns was terrific. He was all over the field. If he wasn't getting a sack, he was covering a tight end and running them down. Like Burns was phenomenal in this game.
And how good the Giants were converting on third downs, which is something they're never known to do.
But that's been a thing since Dart has stepped in as the quarterback. They have been much better on third down with him. Much better. It's one of the strengths that he has had is that his third down efficiency has been excellent. So that's also something when you have the coach and the quarterback on the same page, you can see the execution is much different, especially at third downs, which are obviously critical.
Now, this is just a terrific win up and down. And now see if you can follow it up, and see if you can continue. You got a longer week here as you get ready for Denver, who they'll be coming
Denver's
back from London.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but
you're in Denver, I think, right? Yeah, they got to have a home game, so you're probably in Denver.
But again, it's not about the wins and losses; it's how it looks. And this isn't like the Eddie Murphy, the starving person getting a cracker and thinking it's a Ritz. Yeah, we have been deprived of good, fun, entertaining football, but this is what you want to see when you're moving forward. Like every team that's going to take that big step forward has to go through the growing pains, but at least show glimpses. Now, if he can, hopefully he'll stay healthy, and I think that's got to get toned down. I saw what happened to RG3 when he came into the league, and he was a sensation and diving head first for first downs, and it wasn't long that he was out of the league. I mean, I'll live with it now because I think it's capricious youth, and that just kind of comes with the energy that the Giants have been able to thrive off of. But at some point, that's going to have to get throttled because you're going to get yourself killed. Okay, you can't go into concussion protocol every Sunday and expect to be able to survive in this league.
Isn't it amazing?
Scadaboo as well.
Yeah, well, his shelf life. I mean, my God, the way he plays, like it's fun to watch right now, but it does. There is that little bit of a concern of, this kid's crazy. And it's fun, and this team needed it. He might be like a short-term impact player, but his impact could be long-term, if that makes sense, right? Because I do think there's a bravado that was missed. You can't tell me that the offensive line didn't feed off this. That the defense, they were on the sideline, they were going crazy. Like they were into it. It just does something to the sideline. It does something to your team when you have guys that play that hard.
Yeah.
And Dart, yes, I'm with you. He should not be diving headfirst for a first down. But the stuff Scadaboo's doing at the line of scrimmage and how he gets demolished in a tackle and just bounces right up. The flips after a touchdown, that's fine. But his boundless energy is just something that is so infectious and so obvious that this franchise has needed. And it definitely can spark something. You got to, at least as a fan, watch this and say to yourself, whether you like Dable or not, that they're on to something now. And that's all you've been waiting for, is a reason to believe that something looks different and has the chance to catch and be that turnaround you've been waiting for a very long time.
Yeah, that's what it was. Just really fun and just flat out shocking. Especially when it's the Eagles and
Yeah.
They're coming off a disappointing fourth quarter against Denver, and the Giants never win on Thursday night. They hardly ever win in prime time. They hardly ever win at home. Never beat the Eagles at a big spot. You got to think about the last time they beat the Eagles was at the end of the season when Philadelphia had nothing to play
and it didn't
for.
count. It was not a real win. So here's all the streaks. There was a million streaks, right, that the Giants had going in. Here's a bunch of them. 9-game losing streak that was snapped against defending Super Bowl champs. You don't even pay attention to stuff like that, right?
Right.
But the last time they beat a defending Super Bowl champion was Week 15 in the 1998 season. That's nuts. 10-game losing streak against the Eagles in prime time. The longest losing streak by one team against another in prime time since the 1970 merger. Snapped a 10-game losing streak when playing on Thursday. We knew about that going into the game. And an 8-game losing streak in division, which you also knew about that. And how about this one, too? 3 rushing touchdowns by a Giants rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me the last time that happened? Giants rookie running back.
I can't remember his name, but I remember it was 1971 because I saw the graphic.
Oh, you saw?
night.
Oh, okay, you saw it. Okay, Charlie Evans. Yeah. I didn't know if you saw that.
Couldn't remember who it was, and I guess it's the first. There's only been 3 rookie quarterbacks to have a rushing touchdown in their first 3 NFL games, and it's Jaden Daniels and Dak Prescott.
No, that's fitting. Pretty good company too.
So same division, pretty good company, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, listen, I'm just really just shocked. I'm beside myself. It's to beat Philadelphia because you're a New Yorker, so you know how you're supposed to feel about Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And I love Saquon, but it's like enough already, right? I mean, like we talked about it yesterday. It's like, all right, dude, you won, okay? You won the Super Bowl. And, can we just let it go? The divorce is over, all right? You won. You won in every way, shape, or form. As a player, as a professional, as a man, and the Giants lost. We all got it. They got embarrassed. But, enough. And it was very satisfying, too, because you probably didn't, maybe when you rewatch the game, to have the Giants add to the score, add to the Eagles' humiliation, and then what's the commercial going to break? Is a Saquon commercial?
Yes. Yeah.
Am I wrong to just enjoy that?
No, there's nothing wrong with enjoying that. He got to enjoy it at your expense last year.
Yes.
Right? The same thing happened. So there's nothing. I felt like all the stuff last year was all fair game because of the divorce, the way it ended, how bad it looked for the Giants to let them walk and then have them go to your rival and then go on and win a Super Bowl. So all that was fair game. The documentary this year, to have a lot of focus on the Giants and their decision to move on from them, that felt like, okay, that's enough. Like that's a bit much. And so that's why the timing of this, but by the way, his first 2 carries, it looked like he was going to have a ridiculously dominant game.
Didn't it feel that way?
Oh, my God. The first one especially, there was just a gaping hole right through the middle, and he just took it right up the gut. But so that's when you just thought, oh, my God, is he going to now have, another epic game at MetLife Stadium? But it definitely at this point felt like it had gone too far. And all the numbers where the Giants never beat the Eagles and then they never win on Thursday night and all the nevers, to a point where Scatterby was on with Scott Van Pelt. And so Scott asked him, did you know that the Giants haven't won a Thursday night game in 10 years? Did you know all the negative history numbers that we were talking about yesterday? And the kid's like, yeah, he was aware of it. So, they were made aware of all that stuff, which tells you go into a game with that kind of determination against what is clearly a wounded animal in the Eagles, who they've got all kinds of issues going on with them internally, football-wise. Their offense is predictable. That was a perfect storm last night for a Giants party that I bet you those fans couldn't wait to have. So it was a good night to be a Giant. And it's right now got to make you feel like at least you can exhale about a future. You got to feel good about the direction the franchise is in when you found yourself a quarterback and a head coach, and the two of them clearly in simpatico.
And listen, I have my opinions on Brian Daboll. I'm not sold on him at all. I think there are still issues with his coaching abilities. But he's not going anywhere. if this train continues to move in the direction it's going. Even to the point where I'll go this far, that if this continues to look the way it's looking, but for whatever reason, because of the strength of schedule, there's not a lot of wins, but it just looks good, that maybe he can survive a 4 or 5 win season. If it looks good.
But Don,
you go to Denver, you play well, but you lose on a last-second field goal, right? You go to Washington comes here and you play well and you lose on a late Jaden Daniels touchdown. It really depends on how it looks. Now, they've already got a couple wins, so I obviously if they only win one more game, it would look like something's wrong. But if they end up winning 5-6 games, I don't see how you blow it up. And also I'm a Shane guy. I think I would bring him back and let Dable go. That was my opinion at the beginning of the season. But if they continue to march this way, I mean, Shane looks good too. He's the one that traded back in to get Dart. He was the one that got Scatterboot. So all these things end up on his resume. So you can bring up the empty drafts that he's had. I guess everybody kind of points to the 23 draft, but a lot of he acquired the guys that 3 of the 4 guys that are getting to the quarterback. Traded for Burns, which looks like a steal from Carolina. So as much as there are people out there, and a lot of people that would like to see this blown up and Shane and Dable be gone, if this continues, Alan, they're staying.
Yeah, absolutely. And all you have to do is look at also how Dart responds to Dable. That's the part that if you're the owner, you can't ignore that. Because if you found a connection and the player has a respect and an understanding for the coach, then there's no chance you make that change. Because now you feel like, okay, I've got the value. Look, all great NFL teams, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, all the coach and the quarterback are generally on the same page. They generally work well together. That's how you have success long term. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what you think you're seeing here. You can certainly hear it in the voice of Brian Daboll talking about him like he's his own child. But when you see Dart and the way Dart is also towards Dable, you can see that that's not something you want to mess with. And now, you let's say they don't have success, but the kid, you could see it. There's something there, but it's still going to take time. Again, what Hyatt and Lil Jordan and all those guys were doing week after week. Can you expect that if you don't have a guy like Neighbors out there? You're going to run into some games where you just don't have enough talent. They're going to have games like the Saints because they're mostly young on the offensive side. That stuff could happen still. But if this kid, I know this quarterback's the stuff, and he likes the coach, you don't touch a thing.
Right.
You don't.
And why does he like the coach? Does he like the coach because Dart's a good guy and just likes his coaches, or does he like the coach because he feels like he's growing because of him, that he's teaching me things that I'm applying on the field and he's making me into the quarterback that I've become? So if that's the case, then he's not going anywhere.
There's no chance. No, this looks good. And it's a matter of just keep building it from here. And, but it's at least you got something to believe in, because what's going to happen in London Sunday morning, I don't know what to believe in, because now I'm almost at a point, Don, as we'll get into the Jets in a moment. I'm almost at a point now where if they win a game, it might ruin everything, which is a terrible thing to say, but that's where I am right now.
No, listen, I've got some things to say about the Jets. We've got a very interesting show, guys, here. I'm in Tampa. Alan's back in New York as we get you ready for what's going to be a busy weekend in a lot of different sports. We've got Fraud Alert Friday coming up at 4:30. We've got our picks at 5:45. We've got another Anthony Pusick-led ENN at 6.
Love it.
But we're having some technical difficulties with our phones. So we do apologize for that. But, hey, it's the Go ahead. I'm sorry, Alan.
I was going to say that you know what to do. Just make sure you get to the YouTube channel. There's a place to talk to us right there.
Yeah.
And we can easily, instead of take your call, if you have questions,
click!
That's exactly where we'll go.
You ever watch YouTube?
Perfect.
We've also got social media.
Oh, great.
We also have the ability to the emails that are going to be coming in for Fraud Alert Friday. So there's
Take
other
it
ways.
off. Take it all off.
This is not 1985 where there was only one way. to communicate. So let's take advantage of
we have
and as soon as we know that the phones are working, we'll fix it.
We have Morse code.
Do the math!
I love you.
That was a drop extravaganza.
A lot of He wants you to just send it to break. What's up, Boo?
Well, we stop at the drops and I'll send it to break.
Even though John Mara has a statement about Dable's actions when it comes to the medical tent. Right.
All right, we'll get into that when we come back. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg hanging out with you till 7 o'clock right here on ESPN New York.
Ready to fire up your Saturdays? FanDuel has got a boost you don't want to miss. It's called Boostin' with the Boys, and it's given everyone a college football profit boost every single week. Here's how it goes. Each week, they're giving everyone a profit boost to use in college football. No opt-in gymnastics, no invite-only nonsense. Everyone gets the boost. We're talking real games, real teams, real Saturdays with an extra payout on the line. It's easy, it's fun, and it's only on FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/Peter to download the app. Check out the Boostin' with the Boys offer and get in on the action. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is the Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same-day and next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. Jay Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Hey there, guys. Good afternoon and happy Friday, but already not a happy ride out there on the roads, especially if you're heading over to the outbound, George. Just no easy way to do it. Not even the Henry Hudson going to help you out. That's crawling from the bridge on down. Cross Bronx westbound, going to run you at least an hour from the Bruckner through to underneath the apartments. Inbound, George, still have some road work on the upper deck, about a 45-minute ride. Lower level, about 20 to 30. Outbound Lincoln will run you 30 to 40. Outbound Hahn, already an hour. Solid delays on the Staten Island Expressway westbound, heading over to the West Shore. Long line of brake lights. You're backed up across the Verrazano into Brooklyn. Bumper to bumper on the belt westbound from Flatbush Avenue. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off and to wear a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Lowe's knows that free makes everything better. That's why our rewards members get free standard shipping on the things they want and need to get the job done every day. Savings for rewards members add up fast, so why wait? Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg with you till 7 o'clock. As the Giants celebrate a win over the Philadelphia Eagles, we've got the Jets to get into. We got our picks. We got Fraud Alert Friday. But Alan had mentioned that Dable had poked his head into the concussion protocol tent, which is something you're not allowed to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dable and the Giants get fined for this. And John Mara did issue a statement today on that. He said, I spoke with Coach Dable this morning about approaching the medical tent last night. While I firmly believe he has, as he stated, that he was not trying to influence the process in any way, he understands that the appearance of going into the tent is inappropriate. We have protocols in place as a league to ensure player safety. We need to allow our medical staff to execute those protocols without interference. We understand the situation is under review by the NFL and the NFLPA, and obviously we will cooperate fully. Now, the reason for that, guys, is because, again, the medical staff is trying to determine whether somebody has a concussion, and there's the head coach over their shoulder trying to influence that decision. That's what the league does not want to do. Now, Dable's thinking, hey, my guy's ticked off having to go in there, and I want to try to calm him down, but it just doesn't look right, Alan, so I'm glad the Giants got out in front of this, but I'm sure Dable's going to be light a few $1,000s because of that decision.
Probably, yeah. The NFL has initiated a review to see if the wrongdoing, because you aren't supposed to go. The coach isn't supposed to go in the tent. Cam Scatterbo went in the tent. Cam's the one who said that it sounded like that Jaxson was upset and was frustrated, and he wanted to calm him down and say, we're good, bro, don't worry about it. We got you. Dable was trying to get an update and couldn't get one, and he admitted in the postgame that he shouldn't have done that. He actually was seen on the sideline going back to the team doctor to apologize for his outburst on the sideline. A lot of emotions. We know Dable does run hot. Like, we've seen that with him. So, but it isn't right. You don't want to influence it. And you could tell, like, from the way it's being described, that Dart was the one that was, like, flipping out once they pulled the tent over him and they were putting him through the process because he wanted to get back out there and play. The problem is, I think this might be the third time he's had to go at least get checked for a concussion in a game.
Well, he definitely had to last week because he was just as upset in the Saint game.
Yeah, so I that's the problem there is, let's not make this a routine where you're constantly being checked. He got hit. You could see, though, he takes a lot of head contact. And he just has to get smarter because at some point they're going to close the tent and then they're going to realize, yeah, he's done. He's out for the game. And that's the worst of it. So he's lucky that he hasn't been taken out of a game for good yet, but it's going to come a time, it just feels like it, where it's going to happen. They have to be careful with him. He's got to be smarter. He does slide at times, but man, it just seems like there's a lot of replays that show someone's shoulder, someone's helmet, catching him in the jaw, side of the head. Yeah. There's going to be a day where he doesn't come out of that tent and they say he's done for the game. You can't have that.
No, and you also don't want concussions. It could shorten your career. It could just ruin everything.
Well, yeah, but in this sport, it's hard to. Yeah, it's hard to.
Well, in this sport, but also just we know more about concussions than we did before. I remember, and he didn't mean anything by it, but like Ron Jaworski one time years ago, like he said, I probably suffered 35 concussions and laughed about it, because he probably did. And they just said, here's some smelling salts, go back out there.
I was just going to bring up smelling salts. Don, have you ever experienced that?
No.
Because there was a time before people really, made much about concussions. That it was always like, just shake the cobwebs out was literally the saying. I took an elbow to the side of the head in a college game, and I remember one thing. I saw the lights, and I thought it was the ceiling. Like I thought I fell and was looking up at the field house, at the ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't that. And the next thing I knew, and I don't know how I got there, I was sitting on the bench, and I had smelling salt under my nose. And I was like, remember, I was just freaking out, shook my head a couple of times, and went back in the game. Should have never done that. But There was a different time. Like nobody said anything. They just told you. They just told you, like, you good? Like, yeah, I'm fine. And you just like this is a different world, and it's better this way.
There was a time where we didn't know any better, and then there was a time we knew better but didn't bother to tell the player.
Yeah, or the player didn't want to say anything because you didn't want to come out of the game.
Which was also the case, but also,
like
with all the lawsuits and everything, the NFL and these sports leagues were in denial about the concussion issues, and now we've actually moved in the complete opposite direction where the game is completely changed because of it. But all that aside, we love those types of players. It's amazing in New York, Alan, and you've been here all your life. I've been here all my life. New York is looked upon as a very cosmopolitan city, but it's blue collar, man. It's lunch pail.
100%.
And we love players that sacrifice their bodies. We love players that are all in all the time. So New York is going to fall in love with Jaxson Dart. Giant fans are going to just love him, like they love Phil. Phil Simms was the same way. Now, Phil got off to a slow start with the injuries, but Phil was tough as nails, and fans loved that. Wayne Corbett, great story, walk on, but he was also a guy that just laid out every single play. But much like Wayne Corbett, he suffered for that. And you don't want to lose this kid because of it. So he's going to have to find that happy medium of playing at a level that helps the Giants, but also scaling it back just enough that he's able to continue to play every week.
Dable's quote today to the writers was that he said, I went in. I didn't actually go in. He's talking about the tent. Just stuck my head in to see how our quarterback was doing. Just asked him how you're doing. In no way would I want a player to come back out there if he wasn't ready to play. I think I have a great respect for the process. But we have the cut. Okay, because I thought this was just a few minutes ago. So here's Dable explaining what he did with the tent in the tent.
I'm not going to get into that. I do have respect for the process, but I peeked in for a couple seconds to see how a player that's important to us, important to me, how he was doing. 2-second question, how you doing, bud? And then relative to the questions I had for our team physician was more, how long is it going to be? And however long it's going to be is how long it's going to be relative to making a game time decision. So that's important. Health and safety is important. I know it's important to John Mara, and we'll abide by all those rules.
So he shouldn't do any of that.
No.
He should have. You wait until you're told. He's got to know that. You can't be sticking your head, because you know what that does when you stick your head in the helmet in the tent and look at your quarterback, your young rookie quarterback, and say, how you feeling? That's akin to saying, like, you ready? You good?
Mm-hmm.
Now you start as a player feeling the urgency of, like, I got to get out of here. My coach needs me. So that's a bad look.
No, it's an awful look, and also the pressure it puts the doctor under of, does he now shave off a couple of things to make it work for the coach? And I don't think he meant any of that.
I don't think he meant wrong,
because I just think he's excited and he wants to know.
Yes.
But it's all you don't understand the influence a head coach has over a player.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough look. Doesn't the league have to do something? He stuck his head in the tent. You shouldn't be doing that.
No, he's going to get fined. He's going to get fined severely, and the Giants are going to get fined for it too.
Yes, you got to make it.
Just can't do it, and Cam can't do it. But it just shows you. I want to ask you this, and you can answer it at the other end of the break or whatever. Now, is he just legitimately excited because it's a coach winning games and it's been a while since team won, or do you think he's legitimately excited that his job is being saved? I don't think it's that. I as much as I was not on board with Dable coming back, I think he's a good guy, and I think he wants to win. I think this isn't selfish, like, whoa, I love Jaxson Dart because he's going to save my job. I just think he wants to win, and he's excited to have a quarterback he can work with, and I just think he's just all fired up about everything, like literally firing on all cylinders,
Don, it's like, hey, my offense doesn't suck anymore. Like, think about this, Don. Right. You create something that you believe in, and when it's run the right way, it's going to look good. And then you have a guy that runs it into the ground, and you're like, that's not what it's supposed to look like. But you look bad because it's your offense, right? Wouldn't it? Like if let's say you wrote a song and handed it to somebody, and they sung it terribly, wouldn't you just be disgusted? Like, no, I need somebody that can freaking sing, please, so I can prove that this is a great song. So when you find that person that can sing it, you'll love them. So like Daniel Jones, he could sing it a little bit, but a lot of times he'd make mistakes throughout it, and it would just frustrate you. You get pissed off, like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. And then you get a veteran comes in, and they do it their way, but you could tell they don't really, their heart's not in the song. And you're like, this ain't it either. Then all of a sudden you find that voice, and you're like, oh, my God, that's it. That's how it's supposed to sound. That's how it's supposed to work. I really think that is the majority of how he feels. Now, is there a little part of him that's like, finally, I can be. I know I'm not going. They're not going to fire me with this guy. This is going to be great. There's a little bit of that I'm sure creeps in. That comfort of finally, okay, I don't have to worry. But I think this is more about I finally found somebody that can sing this song the way it's supposed to be sung.
All right,
it's the best analogy I can make.
Social media at Alan Hahn. We've got picks coming up at 5:45. We got the Fraud Alert Friday at 4:30. Again, having difficulties with our phones. So usually we would be going to a ton of phone calls.
Thank God this wasn't
fired
yesterday.
up about the NFL season continuing.
We got to pay our
being
bill.
Saved in New York. That does help. I hope it's not.
You got some money on you. Let's you and I pool our money together, and we'll cover it. We'll just pay the bill.
If that's all it takes.
We got to do something.
Well, if the phones are working when we come back from the break, then we've found the problem. But I don't think it's that. There's a lot of things going on.
Sure
Guys have been working all day trying to fix it. So if we don't have that, we have all the other ways in which you can get in touch with us. Fraud Alert Friday at 4:30, ENN at 6. Big show. Take you up until 7 o'clock here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
You know so much about who you are. But do you know what makes your body your body? With over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help you know the truth. Because you know you're made of grit, wit, and a good heart. But just how healthy is that heart? You know you're made up of all the places you've called home. You know you're made of your mom's sarcasm. And now you can find out if you have her thyroid too. You know you're made of college all-nighters and 30s early-nighters. But those still don't explain your sleep issues. You know that you're made up of good meals with even better conversation. But are you actually absorbing those nutrients? A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please pay responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Lowe's knows that free makes everything better. That's why our rewards members get free standard shipping on the things they want and need to get the job done every day. Savings for rewards members add up fast, so why wait? Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
Out here, pets are always by your side. Watching the herd, running fence lines, or asleep at your feet. Pets are some of our favorite customers. When you bring them along to Tractor Supply, we'll always have a treat waiting. And with our price match guarantee, you'll always get the best price on their favorite food, toys, treats they love, and pet meds to keep them healthy. Tractor Supply, for pets out here.
Knicks fans, opening night is a bounce pass away. Join ESPN New York's Hahn Rosenberg live from 3 to 6:30 p.m. from Stout on West 33rd between 6th and 7th. Steps from the Garden. Get ready for the start of Knicks basketball.
Runs it off the dribble. He got it and one.
Be there for special guests, live Knicks talk, and opening night vibes before tip-off. We'll see you at Stout on West 33rd. Hahn Rosenberg live from the Knicks home opener. Don't just listen, don't just watch. Be there.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Hahn and Rosenberg with you till 7 o'clock. Big Fraud Alert Friday coming up 4:30. Picks at 5:45. ENN at 6. After a big Giants win over the Philadelphia Eagles. It's just real satisfying to finally beat the Eagles, man. Finally win a game in the division. Finally win a game on national television. Finally win a game in prime time. You said all of the different, all the dragons that were slayed. And more than, makes up for what happened against New Orleans, and we'll see if they can take care of business with the extra few days off here before they go to Denver and take on a Bronco team that's going to play the Jets in London. I'll tell you, these London games are weird. It's usually very low scoring. I don't know what to expect in that game. Denver coming off having that, 17 unanswered points against the Eagles in the fourth quarter to win that game. But 2-4, and we'll see if the Giants can keep this momentum going with the extra, kind of the de facto bye, right? The bye adjacent of not having to play again until the following Sunday.
It's funny. You're always worried about this, right? Because I'm finally looking at the comments because we aren't getting calls, so I'm keeping an eye on things. So somebody said thumbs up if you can read them, and I'm reading them. Again, Scatterby with Scott Van Pelt. And this is what I love about SVP, because he asked the question that you're like, is it worth asking this? Yeah, it's worth asking this. And he's so good at the way he asks it. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, you guys have the city in the palm of your hands, and you got a weekend off. There's a lot of things that can happen in New York City. Like, are you guys going to keep it focused? Keep the main thing, and avoid the temptations of New York City. And Scott was like, I'm going to play some video games, and I'm not going to be seen. He's like, that's the only thing I'm focused on. I'm staying focused on football, and nothing's going to distract me right now from football. And I smiled because he answered it as if he has been asked or told the same thing. And Don, it's like, in today's day, because there was a time where you could say that and then you could be out and nobody knows about it. But today, with everybody having phones and cameras, like if you're keeping the main thing, you won't be on anybody's social media because you won't be anywhere. So I'm curious to see with the weekend off and a win against the Eagles, and right now you are the toast of the town, can you avoid the easy temptations, because we all know heavy moisture in the air, Donnie. When you see that kind of performance and you go out that night,
but
high humidity.
I hear you. I get what you're talking about, but that's kind of the pitfalls of New York. You go back to Matt Harvey. Matt Harvey hit the scene.
Perfect example.
And it was an amazing time. It was Harvey Day, and then he's taking those strange subjective pictures in the New York Post, and it's like, what's going on here? Like, is he getting a little too caught up?
The page 6
in the fame.
Yeah.
And then when you lose, then that becomes the reason.
Right.
Like, if he just never left his hotel room, never left his house, wasn't going to Knick games at Madison Square Garden and having supermodels on his arm and posing for pictures in the New York Post, and he just disappeared and just played baseball, the same thing may have happened. But that becomes the reason. Same thing with Odell Beckham Jr. His head's too big. New York is eating him alive. He's doing all that. Maybe he would have done those things anyway. I don't know, but that becomes the reason. So if Dart, because this is what's going to be next. If this continues, and again, it's been very brief. We'll see where it all goes. We could be having a conversation 2 weeks from now, like what happened to these two guys.
Right.
That's how fleeting sports are.
Yeah.
But if this continues, then there's going to be commercials. There's going to be opportunities. There's going to be, appearances on Kimmel or Fallon, and then the 4-interception game that comes the next week, or Scatterbo drops a couple of passes or fumbles the ball away, it'll be because of all the extra stuff they did, not just because that's the maturation process of an NFL football player.
Yeah.
That's why I always err on the side of these players just doing very little. Don't create built-in excuses, stuff like that. Don't give people the chum for that. It'll come, it'll happen. So that's those are the pitfalls of doing it in New York, right? Because if that Saints game came after a few appearances, then it wouldn't have been young mistakes. It would have been, maybe if you're focused on football and not flying across the country to be on Kimmel, maybe this never would have happened.
Think about it. That whole banana boat thing wouldn't have been a thing if they didn't go to Green Bay and play the way they play, where they couldn't catch a ball, right? That was the whole meme. That's why it turned into what it turned into, because of how poorly they played in that game that year with McAdoo. They made the playoffs.
Yeah, in 16.
But there's no greater example than Joe Namath. Yeah, I was reading Namath. I was reading the book. It's like Namath would get killed. Like, as well as he would play, he'd also have these 5-interception games. Like, he'd have these bad games. And he was famous for going out. He never hit it. Famous for, having multiple companions on multiple nights and talking about, like, he was happy being the playboy of New York City and never hit it. And so when he didn't play well, it was the first thing everybody went to. And it's always what they blame. It's like Mickey said, women weaken legs. Like, that's just the attitude we all have. So when you see players like this, and they're young, and you could see their boundless energy, ripping off their shirts and just the poses and all the fun stuff, it's always the next thing you think of is, oh my God, these dudes are going to hit the clubs tonight and they're going to tear it up. Because we're all human. That's how we feel. But we also know that if they fall into that trap, New York, it's same as LA, it eats you alive, and nobody wants to see that either. So not only do we need to see your strength and discipline on the field, can you show us that same strength and discipline off it? It might be just as challenging as trying to run through a defensive line to get a touchdown.
But it is amazing how things just electrify in New York. Like, Tommy DeVito wouldn't have happened anyplace else. And I'm not just saying because he was a Jersey kid and the Paisan stuff. It's just that we really eat that. This city just does that, right? It just magnifies everything. And so that's why it's just so easy to fall into this. There are great stories all around the league of young kids who play and perform well, and you do it in Green Bay, or you do it in Denver, and you do it, wherever.
It hits different here, man.
It's different in New York, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a true thing. And whether people like it or not, I don't care. Hey, Jared asked this question on YouTube, Don.
Yes.
If the Giants win again next week at Denver, does that change your outlook on their season ceiling? If so, how? It's a fair question.
Well, it's a fair question because if that were to happen, all right, then that would be 3 real quality wins. Now, I don't know what's going to happen to the Chargers because they lost again against Washington, but there's no shame in losing to the Commanders. But if your 3 wins are the Chargers, Eagles, and Broncos, that's no joke. Now, you did lose to the Saints, but
you can
then
throw
you start
that one
saying,
out.
is this schedule really that difficult, Alan? Like, if they can go to Denver and win, if they can beat the Chargers and the Eagles, and they never beat the Eagles, then why couldn't they beat the Eagles again? Why couldn't they beat the Cowboys at MetLife Stadium? Why couldn't they beat the Commanders at MetLife Stadium? How does it not change your outlook on the season if you now string 2 straight wins together against playoff teams from last year, one of them the defending champion, one in a very difficult place to play in Denver? How does it not change your perspective?
Okay. What would the expectation be then? Would you start thinking the P word?
Well, no.
No?
At
Wait a
3
minute.
and 4?
What? Sorry?
Because that's what you would be, right? So,
yeah, but looking at the NFC and the landscape is there for if you're starting to if the worm's starting to turn.
See, you're being that guy.
No, I'm not being that
Right.
guy. That's what you're supposed to do.
No, what I'm supposed to do, because I'm not going to just all of a sudden in 2 weeks go from blow it up, this organization doesn't know what they're doing, to all of a sudden start talking about playoffs in a very, very in a tough schedule that they have the rest of the way. But the perspective changes from, can they win 6 games? Can they win 7 games? I'm not going to jump from in 2 weeks that they can make the playoffs. I need to see the rest of the landscape because obviously what's Philadelphia going to be? What's Dallas going to be? We thought they were going to be much better than they actually are.
We don't know.
The landscape has kind of changed. The Packers look like they've got holes. Everybody anointed them as the team that was going to go to the Super Bowl representing the NFC. That doesn't look like the case. The Rams look like they've got a ton of holes. So maybe the landscape changes over time, Alan. But for me, I mean, you could do what you want, but for me, if they're 3 and 4 and beat Denver in Denver, then I start saying that maybe 7 wins are on the table, and then we could start talking about can they get to 9. And then when you say that, then you start talking about the P word.
I like talking about the P word.
What's the matter with talking about playoffs?
Nothing, baby. Nothing.
Because you're
all it's about.
You're all drunk on a preseason game.
Yeah, the P word I have is a preseason game that looked like a regular season game.
Well, I was just saying, if it happened any other day, it would get much more love.
I know, but I'll tell you, that was a fun first half, man. That was a lot of fun. But nobody was watching, not even Don LaGreca.
Well, I was there. I was there for you when I could be. But there was a lot going on last night. And we're going to bring the Jets into the conversation because they've got a game in London at 9:30 on Sunday.
Yeah.
We've got Fraud Alert Friday at 4. You can hear in my voice and certainly in Alan's ears that he's really fired up about the Jet conversation. At 4:30, we'll have Fraud Alert Friday. Our picks at 5:45. Interesting week, tough week
to pick
with picks.
Brutal,
but we're going to do them at 5:45. ENN at 6. Don Hahn Rosenberg until 7 here on ESPN New York.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Don, let me tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bathfitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement. Plus, a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bathfitter.
Score or win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on October 2nd, 1993, when the University of California faced a 30-0 halftime deficit to Oregon. Cal went on a remarkable 42-11 run in the second half to capture a 42-41 victory, one of the largest comebacks in college football history.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Your fantasy roster is set. The smack talk is heating up, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for three.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
402 in the big city. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg hanging out with you until 7. And we'll have some playoff baseball a little bit later on tonight. Big weekend in store for the NFL, NHL. I've got my first regular season game I'm looking forward to, as the New Jersey Devils will be here in Tampa to take on the Lightning. Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, Alan,
I like when he holds it.
Alan, when you look at the left side of the standings for the New York Jets, what do you see?
I see a 0.
0. That's what's going on today locally in sports. You do have Tigers-Mariners Game 5, so that's not nothing.
This
right?
has to be
Winner
one
moves
of the,
on to take on the Blue Jays.
This has got to be
and
one
that
of the
game
last,
can be heard right here on 880 at 7:30 tonight.
It's got to be one of the last dark nights of sports in the right? Like, because if at some point, every single friggin' night.
Oh, there's going to be, once the basketball gets going,
right?
It's going to be crazy.
Okay.
Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. My flight was delayed slightly on the tarmac. When you always hate when the pilot comes on and says, "We are number 20 for takeoff." And that was literally what he said. And then he is very optimistic and said it'll probably take about 20 minutes. No, it took like an hour and 20 minutes to finally take off. Wasn't too bad. Flight wasn't bad. Packed. I guess everybody wanting to be in Tampa today.
Why not?
And so we got into a very interesting text thread early this morning, because it was like 9:30 at night for Peter in Perth. So he was full of it. And Alan and I were up, and I wasn't doing anything. So I was texting, and out of nowhere.
It was the most active our group chat has ever been in the history of this show.
And you know why? Because I was participating. I think I was able to move the needle, because sometimes I lay out on those things, but I had nothing else to do. I had free time. I didn't have screaming kids or a wife screaming that I forgot to do the 100 things she asked me to do.
Jeez.
So
okay.
Out of nowhere, Alan Hahn's like, I had the Giants as my 3-point play.
Yep.
I don't remember that at all yesterday.
Oh, I said it. I remember saying it. I remember. Everybody
I was
in the
hoping
chat,
you were just trying to get Peter's
Everybody in the chat
goat.
remembers I said it yesterday too.
It's funny because I don't remember and Anthony doesn't remember.
I don't recall this happening, Jacob.
I don't either. The only thing I remember you saying you liked the Giants with the 7.5.
Yep.
Never made it your 3-point play.
See? Yeah.
No.
See, Jake told you.
Those are two different things.
He told you.
Those are two different things.
That's not feeling it.
Yeah, nope.
That's two completely different things.
There's a great drop from Michael K about that.
What is the drop? Feeling it?
Stand by.
Stand by. We're going to have the drop call in.
Then we wouldn't get it.
I feel it for 1 point.
No, that's not feeling it.
That's feeling it. Feel this then, okay?
You hear what I'm saying?
Feel this. Yes.
You don't get to see the visual of what he did when that happened either.
Was there a visual to the field there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we were on Yes at the time, if I remember correctly.
It was better.
It was great.
Yeah.
Great times.
Yes
great
went
times.
to no.
Not great times.
So I don't get that credit, huh?
No, you don't get it.
Yeah, right.
No.
Well,
it was just because it wasn't said.
There's not a lot like this. This is a challenging.
It's very challenging.
Challenging.
It's a very challenging.
Speaking of challenging, this London experience for the Jets, it just Don, like 0-5, 3 losses by 6 points or fewer, which makes you like it gives off the vibe of a team that's just right there and just can't figure it out or needs to just be able to finish a game. Whereas if you watch them, it looks like they're so far away from, because it's a lot of self-inflicted wounds. It's the penalties. It's the turnovers and lack of turnovers, which is still an astounding statistic because they haven't had a turnover yet, or forced one, I should say. The 0-5 just starts to reek of 0-13 from 2020, which it's amazing that the Adam Gase era feels like a long time ago, and yet it really wasn't a long time ago. And I had to know this because I'm like, for the NFL, you're trying to sell your sport. Here, we're going to give you this 0-5, team, this garbage team. Like, do you really want to go over there and do all the stuff that you have to do when you play an international game? And it's like these people are just excited to see NFL, and you're like, yeah, we suck. Like, we suck. We're not good. Like, there's nothing really to watch here. We're not a good team. And all right, so how many times has that happened where the NFL's had to have just a trash team go over and represent the league? So it's the 13th winless team to play an international game, the Jets are.
Wow.
The 8th 0-5 team to play, right? The previous 7 teams, 6 of them have lost to go to 0-6.
Yeah. The numbers are not good.
So it doesn't bode well, does it?
No, because I was thinking of taking the Jets.
Are you crazy?
Just for this reason.
I can't even think of a reason why.
For this reason, because it's the NFL.
Because the Broncos are just going to go out to the pub and get drunk, and they're not going to be available. What?
Well, no, because of the fact that it's just been that type of year in the NFL where when you think something impossible, it all of a sudden becomes possible. Like, all right, I know there are people that like the Giants with the 7.5, but nobody thought the Giants would kill the Eagles last night. But that's the NFL, right? Even with Lamar Jackson being hurt, the Ravens being in disrepair the way that they are. So I was just going to take it for nobody's giving the Jets a chance. It's in London. These games are usually pretty low scoring. But then I saw the number. I saw it at 6.5. I don't know if it shifted, but it's under a touchdown. But I was looking at the numbers. Teams favored by at least 4 points in international games are 16-9 against the spread and 19-6 outright. Yeah. So, I mean, and you just gave the numbers about the 0-5 teams going in. Everything points to the Jets losing this game.
Yes.
And everything points to the Jets, getting blown out. So
yes.
that made me think, you know what, because it's been such a wacky start to the season, I'm just going to pick the Jets.
Oh, I see. All right, so you're going to go Bizarro.
Because of that.
You're just going Bizarro NFL.
Yeah.
Like you're going to do the Costanza episode where every decision he just goes, what's the opposite of what I would do?
Right. I'm a bald man and live with my parents. That's what I was thinking.
I don't know. I don't know if that's I don't.
It's probably
know
not a smart way to do it, but
first of all, the Jets have one receiver, and you know what the Broncos have? The best cornerback in the game.
Yeah,
how's that going to work out?
So it doesn't.
Not great.
It doesn't.
They got guys that get after the quarterback and an offensive line that has been leaky.
But yet the spread's only 6.5, so it's not like the Broncos. Listen, let's not anoint the Broncos, okay? I mean, I think they're a good team. They're a playoff team. I think Nick's is going to be a good quarterback, but they do have a great defense, that's for sure. But I don't know if you've been encountering this. I know I have.
Mm-hmm.
I did the Jets for 16 years.
Yeah.
And I was very fortunate that I did have some great years, 2009, 2010, going to the championship game. Herm Edwards gave us some, really fun seasons to work the Jets. I feel bad for Dan. Dan's on his way 8 years. This is his 8th season doing Jets. He has not seen a playoff game.
It's like Bart.
Close.
Bart on SNY. He hasn't done one playoff postgame show.
No, it's bad because I stopped doing it in 17, and then Dan took over in 18, and it's been bad. And all those years, the good, the bad, the ugly, the coaching changes. You just said Gay starting 0-13, and I've never in my time being around this team, I've seen this level of disinterest in the Jets. I mean, just flat out disinterest. When they're bad, you'll get people like mad that they're that bad and screaming and yelling about, fire this guy, fire that guy, get rid of this player, get rid of that player.
They just fired everybody. See,
right. Well, I'm just saying, just examples of ways people cope with the losing.
Right.
Like they're always still interested. And then in 2020, we were talking about when they started 0-13, the interest lied in let's root for them to lose so we can get Trevor Lawrence. And of course, what do? They beat the Rams.
They were 2 of the last 3 games, yeah.
And and knocked themselves out of getting Trevor Lawrence.
But what you're saying,
my point is this is the first time, Alan, where I'm hearing a Jet fan base just basically say, I'm good. I don't care. I don't want to watch. I don't want to root. I'm out.
That's
not
me.
saying everybody,
but
me. I've never heard this many people have that opinion.
And you heard me before the season started, Don. Like, you knew that I wasn't getting caught up in it because I saw what was going on, and I wasn't going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe again, right? Like, I wasn't going to do it. The last time I felt anything was right before Aaron Rodgers' Achilles snapped.
Right. He's coming on the field with a flag.
I stopped feeling after that. That was an incredible moment for me where it just disconnected. It completely unplugged because that's when I was like, my God, they really are cursed. And I just, from that point forward, I couldn't feel anymore because I just kept saying, don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up. But Black Metronome asked a question on YouTube.
Okay.
And he said he asked Rick this morning. It's actually an interesting question, and I want to see if you can answer it. If the Jets go 0-17 this season, would Aaron Glenn get fired? And Rick this morning, his response was no. I have my answer. What would be your answer?
Now, you're asking me to predict what would happen or what would I do?
That's a great question. I think the question was simply, would he get fired?
Because I'll give you a little nuance.
Would he? You know,
if it were me, I wouldn't.
Right.
But I could see Woody Johnson being embarrassed by 0-17 and making the move. I can't imagine he would just sit there and take an 0-17 season. Because remember, that would be the first time ever. Because the Lions went 0-16. Okay? Mm-hmm. With the extra game, 0-17, I think he would be so colossally embarrassed by it that he would feel like there had to be a pound of flesh. I don't think that's going to happen. Their schedule's too easy for it to happen. I don't think it should, just because I don't think that we're just starting out here.
So they'll trip into a win and cost them the number 1 pick.
But
I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, you're not. But that people will look at it that way.
Of course.
Because again, if you are interested, it probably is, all right, just lose out, even though I don't think there's a generational talent to tank for. This would unfortunately be the Jets' plight, that on a year where they might actually end up with the first overall pick, there isn't that generational talent because it doesn't feel like
not right now.
Arch Manning is that. But we'll see how things can change between now and the combine, and there is always a lot of movement there.
And there always is somebody that just suddenly becomes oh, you got to have this guy. So good.
Right? But I also need to see what it looks like, Alan. Like, could you make the case that if they just never get better with the penalties, never turn the opposition over, that you just say, listen, whatever your message is not working because you ran on this ticket of new sheriff in town. Right. We're not going to tolerate this. And if you go 17 weeks, all losses, and all you do is commit 10, 12 penalties a game, you lose the turnover battle, -4 every game, wouldn't it almost be justified, as crazy it is to let a head coach go after 1 year, that if you tried to sell a bill of goods not on my watch and all that had happened on your watch was the exact opposite, would that almost be a fireable offense?
Yeah, again, I think you can't. So it's for Black Metro. You can't answer the question without the context of what does it look like. That's how I would put it because of what Don's saying. If it looks like the discipline never gets checked, that the same mistakes keep happening, and so you're just never getting better, that shows me there's poor leadership and maybe I've got a guy that's over his head. I don't want to believe that right now because Aaron Glenn has been in the league long enough and he really did climb from the bottom. This is not a silver spoon coach who's just because of his name got an opportunity. This is a guy that started as a scout and just grinded his way up from a guy who was a player. So I want to believe that he does know what he's doing. But he's got a lot, he's trying to plug so many damn holes. It's too much. It's overwhelming, and it's going to look bad. So I want to believe that we'll start to see evidence at some point before the season's over. But if it looks bad, that's a hard question that everybody's going to have to consider. But it's too early. It's too new. And that's probably why there's a disconnect, Don. That's probably why there's that lack of that's why there's an apathy and a lack of emotion and frustration and anger. See, on the Giants side of things, they kept the coach and they kept the GM. And if they didn't have Jaxson Dart and it was looking really bad, then you'd have a really pissed off fan base demanding change. The Jets fans got the change last off season. Now they've got to wait for that change to take. For this group to get their own people in and be able to run the team and have the team that they envision having. Because right now, obviously, this is in that transition period of someone else's players that I've got to work through and some guys that I wouldn't have on my team normally.
Does who he is help him, Alan? Because he's not Don Mattingly. I mean, there was talk that the Yankees didn't hire Don Mattingly because they didn't want to have to fire Don Mattingly.
Well,
but
crazy.
He is a beloved former Jet. The whole idea of bringing him in was the blood in the ground that you always talk about. Does that help him?
I do think there is something about that does help him. I do think his background is of it's someone that you would not give up on that quickly. I mean, like I said, you gave Adam Gase a couple of years. I mean, you're giving that lunatic time, but you're going to get rid of a guy like Aaron Glenn, a respected coach, a respected player, and let's not discount the Bill Parcells in all this. That there is a lot of Bill Parcells influence here. There's a lot of guidance here, and I don't know. You remember, was Bill Parcells a great coach in day one?
3-12-1.
Okay.
But there was conversations of letting him go.
I'm just saying. So, but the smart thing was to recognize we've got something here. Let's give it a minute, right? Let's give it time. And as much as you hate it, and I hate it, but maybe that's my way of coping through I have to wait through the process. You have to have patience, they tell us. My way of coping is to just stay disconnected. I have that luxury. I had to do this. When the Knicks were bad, I didn't have that luxury. Because I had to do post-game shows talking about players that I knew probably in most cases didn't belong in the NBA.
All right, that was your penance.
But I hope it pays off, man. But that's a reality when we work in the business. But when you are a fan of a team, and it's not like you're made I can't give up on the Yankees, right? Like the Knicks and the Yankees are two entities that regardless I stay with it. The Jets, I can turn it off. I have to. Otherwise, I'll lose my mind. And that's kind of what I've done right now. The patience part of it, I don't have to live through. I don't have season tickets. I don't have to go to tailgates every Sunday. It's not my religion like for some fans. I watch them. I care. I follow it. But I can just kind of keep it at a distance and not get emotionally involved. And I am there right now. I am not emotionally involved.
It is, in a lot of ways, a relationship. And if it's too one-sided, you're going to lose interest. And nobody wants to be with somebody where all the interest is on the one side of the table. And you already go through that in sports because they don't care about you. But you're hoping that their side of the relationship is they keep you entertained, that they're giving you a reason to continue to follow them and stay in love with them. And 15 years, man, that's a long-ass time, man. 15 doesn't feel that way for us because we're in our 50s and 15 years goes in a blink of an eye. 15 years, I was going on 10 years working at this radio station, for God's sakes. But for some people, if you're a 20-year-old, 21, today's your birthday, you turn 21 years old. And you're going to go out drinking with your buddies to celebrate your 21st birthday. You were 6 the last time this team went to the playoffs. I mean, you've spent 75% of your life watching a lousy football team, giving you nothing. Now, what was your take on this players-only meeting? Rich Cimini's tweeting out that before they left for London, Jermaine Johnson said that the defense held a players-only meeting. Say we have to be better. We can't be the reason we lose.
First of all, as a sports writer, I loved getting the information about a team meeting. Gave me some, I got content, I got something to write about. You loved that. As somebody that since being a sports writer and that stuff not necessary in my life, and you know sports well and you know how it's supposed to work, when that gets out, it's because we want you to know that we're talking about it. We want you to know that we still care. We want you to know that we had this meeting to show you that we know this is bad and we want to fix it. I'd rather know there was a team meeting after you win the game in London. Then you can say we had a team meeting. Leaking that before the game, it's a bad look. It's a little desperate, right? So I don't love that. But the team meeting itself and why it's important and all that is because the one area of the team that should be reliable is the defense, and they have not been that at all. Now, Jermaine Johnson's been hurt. He's got to stay on the field, let alone start taking ownership of things that are happening. So he's on the field. That's important. They need him because they don't have anybody that gets after the quarterback. Him and Will McDonald are the only two guys they got. So what do I think of it? Ask me after the game, right? Because honestly, Don, if it's you and I, and we're players on this defense, do I want to tell everybody we just had a team meeting and we're going to really we're going to try harder, it's on us to be better? Or when after the game, if you get the win, you go, well, we had a team meeting before this game, we said enough's enough. Which one is the better way to do it?
It's probably better to do it, mention it after the fact, for sure.
You think? Because if you lose the game and still look bad,
then where do you go? Nobody has to know if you don't tell us, but now where are you going?
Exactly.
It's like when you say must win and you don't win. I was like, okay, now what? We cutting off pinky toes? What are we doing here? Now, we mentioned it earlier, but in case you're just joining us, our phone lines are not working, but there's plenty of ways to get in touch with us. You can do it on the chat on YouTube. You can do it on social media as well. And I was told Anthony got a ton of emails already for Fraud Alert Friday. That's coming up next. So we're still going to be able to do that. Have fun with that. 5:45, we've got our picks. 6 o'clock, we got ENN. We're taking up until 7 o'clock. And then at 7:30 tonight, it is going to be a pivotal Game 5 between the Mariners and the Tigers right here on ESPN New York.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. October 10th is World Mental Health Day. And this year, we're saying thank you, therapists. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps identify your needs and preferences, and their 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means they typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from their tailored recommendations. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp's the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works, with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who've helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call #250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling pound 250.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Dropped right down the chimney by Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson, and the Jets have the lead. Be at MetLife Stadium for the Jets and the Panthers on Sunday, October 19th at 1 p.m., presented by JetBlue. Get to the game early and secure the game giveaway, a JetBlue Jets plane magnet while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
Don't take slow for an answer. Not so easy when you're stuck in traffic. But mere inches from someone else's bumper, you can dream of faster things. Like Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at $40 a month. So while you can't always switch lanes for a faster route, you can switch providers for a faster connection. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit optimum.com/fiber today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Not so great on the BQE eastbound, trying to make your way into Queens, cleaning up a crash in the left lane by the LIE, crawling the entire length, heading through Brooklyn from the inbound Gowanus. Bumper to bumper on the Whitestone Expressway northbound, heading over to the Bronx-bound Whitestone Bridge from City Field. Jammed on the New England Thruway northbound, a crash right after Cedar Street in New Rochelle. Delays go back to the Hutch in the Bronx. All of your approaches the outbound George are packed. Aside from the Henry Hudson, delays are easing. Northbound West Side Highway, some slowdowns from the 50s. Inbound George, about 30 to 44. The upper deck, lower level, about a 20 to 30 minute ride. Outbound Lincoln Orange, 30 to 40. Outbound Holland, an hour plus. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Out here, days are getting a little cooler, and mornings are starting with a few more layers. It's the season for more time at the grill, more feed for your animals. Heaters burn late into the night, and the woods start calling your name. We appreciate hard-working hands, shared moments, and love for our land. That's why season after season, we're here for your life out here. Tractor Supply.
What if you could instantly find whatever you need exactly when you need it? We're talking everything from parking spots to holiday gifts to the perfect shoes in your size. Think of all the time you'd save. While you may never instantly find these things, if you're hiring, you can find qualified candidates right away with ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology works fast to find top talent, and their advanced resume database lets you unlock top candidates' contact info instantly. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/sports. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sports.
Did you or someone you know participate in fraudulent fan behavior?
I'm a fraud with a capital F.
Is your friend a fraud?
I have been a complete and utter fraud.
Are you a fraud?
What is fraud?
Let's ask Don McGregor.
Screw! Go scratch yourself!
Love Fraud Alert Friday, but because I was on the road, I did not bring my gavel. I didn't want to have to explain that to TSA.
I have the gong.
We have the gavel here.
Oh, we have a gavel in the studio.
Oh, you know what?
Well done. Anthony,
Well
all
done,
over it as
Anthony.
always.
I have to go run and grab it from the desk, but we do have the gavel.
Well, listen.
Go
take your time.
I think Jacob's got it.
Look at him
Jacob's got it
making
covered.
Look at him making
See
Jacob.
that?
Look at him delegating.
First of all, I didn't say anything.
Don, did you notice how fast Jacob got up? What's going on there?
It was that talking to from John Winthrop.
The scolding.
He's got the gavel already. Wow.
I like the idea of well, first of all, Jacob is executioner of fraud because once Don makes his ruling, it's Jacob that gives the fraud.
Oh, that's true.
What do we call that? Siren?
Yes, the siren.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's the cleanest way to do it. All right, here we go. Let's do Fraud Alert Friday, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yes.
This one is from Tommy P. Hi, Don. I'm a
Hi.
Blackhawks fan.
Ooh.
My friends who got me into the NHL are Devils and Rangers fans. I also grew up and live in Jersey, so I attend Devils and Rangers games frequently, so I appreciate those teams. Here's how I look at it. 1, Blackhawks are number 1, and I will always root for them no matter what. 2, I will root for the Devils as long as they're not playing the Blackhawks or Rangers. 3, I will root for the Rangers as long as they're not playing the Blackhawks or Devils. If the Devils and Rangers play each other, I bet the over and root for myself. Is any of this fraudulent behavior? Thanks, Tommy.
Very nice. Well, if there's anything fraudulent, is the whole sharing love for both the Rangers and the Devils. But I think that's over because of the fact he is first and foremost a Blackhawk fan. I'm going to say no fraud.
No fraud.
And the reason I say no fraud is because there's no real rivalry. You got to go back about 100 years the last time the Rangers and the Blackhawks had any kind of rivalry. They're not in the same conference.
Stan Mikita days?
Yeah, you have to go back to Bobby Hull and all
Sure.
that. That's back in the 50s and the 60s. So, no, I'm going to say no fraud. We all get into our sports the way we get into them, and we all have other teams that we like to follow as long as they're not rivals of our favorite team. So, Alan, I'm going to say no fraud.
All right, so the Blackhawks, Rangers, and Devils are just like sister wives. It's acceptable.
Yeah.
I think by
If you
having
swing that way.
quote-unquote 3 favorite teams, it's not fraudulent. You just don't have a favorite team. I guess his favorite team is the Blackhawks?
No, he said it's the Blackhawks, and when the Blackhawks play the Devils or the Rangers, he clearly roots for the Blackhawks. He's a Blackhawk fan. But because he lives here, because he's got friends that are Rangers and Devils fans, he's got a special place in his heart for those teams. They're not a rival, so have at it.
Now,
I agree with you. If you root for 3 teams equally, then you don't have a favorite
Correct.
team. But he said the Blackhawks are his team.
Here's one from Joe, and it kind of goes into the end of the last one. We were talking about betting.
Okay.
Joe D. from Queens says, so happy you're on YouTube now. I missed the simulcast.
There you go.
I have a friend who's a diehard Yankee fan. However, watching a game with him a few weeks ago, he tells me he bet the over on the Yankees game. Knowing how passionate he is about the Yankees, I said, how can you bet the over on a game with your favorite team involved? This means you need the opponent to score runs also, and no diehard fan should be rooting for the opponent to do well. Claims he's only rooting for the Yankees to score, but placing an over bet on the game indicates you're not as diehard a fan as you claim if you need the opponent to also score. Is my friend being a fraud, or shall this behavior be allowed?
Very interesting.
And then knee-high football rules, which, shout out Billy Madden.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no fraud.
I agree.
And here's why, because we all make business decisions.
Right.
Now, I could totally see him saying, you know what, I think the Yankees are going to kill him. I'm going to bet the over. So let's say, I don't know, what's a typical over in a baseball game? Maybe 7.5, 8.5?
Yeah, usually.
It's not that crazy to think that the Yankees, who have the best offense in baseball, that hit more home runs than any other team in baseball, could put up a 9 spot and cover is over. So we make business decisions in fantasy, in our bets, in pools and stuff at work. I'm going to say no fraud.
If you have a fantasy team, you have to root for teams that aren't your team more often than not. And we've talked about emotion.
But once again, you're rooting for you in this
Yes.
case. So you're also being smart. If you know your team, your favorite team, sucks on defense or has bad pitching or whatever, a bad bullpen, you do, and you're going up against a high-powered offense, you generally will take the over knowing I know my team. And I want to win, so we got to outscore them. But I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. That's not being a fraud.
I think betting against your team is where we get into trouble.
Yeah,
we've talked about emotional hedges and props.
I do that a lot.
You're making a business decision. Now, I think you're a moron if you're a fantasy player, and I'm a Giant fan, so I never pick any Cowboys or Commanders or Eagles.
Yeah,
then what are you even playing for?
Then
what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
You're donating money every year. That's just stupid.
Yeah, then you
and I don't think that being a fan means you can't bet and you can't play fantasy sports. That's silly too. So when you're making business decisions, I'm with Alan, is that sometimes knowing your favorite team is a way to parlay that into cash.
This is an interesting one from Robert. I'm a diehard Yankees fan, born on Long Island, but currently exiled in Boston. I'd like to know more about that story.
Exiled?
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
How do you get exiled? Is that zipper key?
As such, I've somehow accumulated a few friends who root for the Red Sox. For years, these so-called Sox fans have been betting on the Yankees in the postseason, even when the Sox aren't playing, claiming it's an emotional hedge. After 4 years of Sox irrelevance, they finally got mouthy after Game 1 of the wild card, citing their supposed recent dominance over the Yankees/championships with the self-awareness of a toddler in a mirror. Naturally, I made sure Sinatra was playing loud and clear after Game 3. When the wild card ended, their tune became, we weren't even supposed to make the playoffs, while still collecting and boasting their winning Yankee bets. See that? After the ALDS, they kept talking trash, proudly sharing their losing slips like badges of honor. Don, is this fraudulent fandom? Does betting on your rival expose your true, pathetic allegiance? Is bragging about losing money because your rival lost the peak of knuckle-dragging delusion? You would have to pry the cashish out of my cold, dead hands before I ever bet on Boston. I look forward to your ruling, and rest assured I will be forwarding it to Boston's own Tom and Nolan. Whether you find them innocent or guilty, feel free to address them directly if you wish.
This is nuanced.
Yeah, it's very nuanced.
I like this.
I don't feel that it's fraudulent. Do you, Alan?
Betting against the Red Sox when they're playing the Yankees? That is the emotional hedge, but...
Yeah,
it's the emotional hedge. I've never done it, but I don't... Now, what it comes down to is, ultimately, what makes you happier? Winning the money or losing the money?
Right, you're not...
If losing the money is still your end game, then that's not fraudulent. But if you're sitting there happy you won, then I'd have to say you are a fraud because you wanted the money more.
You're cushioning the blow if the Yankees do win. Wow, my Red Sox lost, but I also just made some money.
No, it is gutless. It's spineless. I get that. But is it fraudulent? Does it make you less of a fan, or is it just a good business decision?
By the way, gutless, spineless. Some people might see that as worse than fraud.
Yeah.
Depends on who you are.
It is gutless. It is spineless. But in some circles, it could be, hey, I'm going to be upset they lose, but we had this conversation. Then it's great. Then at least I made some money off of it.
You seem hesitant about it, Alan.
I'm going to say no fraud.
Well, you're the judge, jury, and execution.
With the information that I have, Alan, I'm going to assume that they'd rather have lost the money than won the money. If you could prove to me they were happy that they won the money, then they're a fraud.
Well, let's see. You're happy when you lose the money because your team won, which is more of the genuine happy.
Right.
The happy that you got the money is like a wicked happy, which no pun intended. I'm not trying to be like, wicked happy. Like I'm not trying to do Boston, but it's like, you know what I mean? There's a wickedness to it. There's an evil to that happy. It's like, it's preying off of the pain. So I still benefit.
No, I think Anthony said it best. It's cushioning the blow.
Well, that's yeah.
As long as you're not rooting for the bet to win.
It's cushioning the blow.
See, that's what I don't know.
But there's the happy though. See, you could cushion the blow and still be kind of like, it sucks my team lost, but I got a couple of bucks. But it's more of if you're happy about it, there's a wickedness to that. That's all.
Or I'm happy either way. Happy either way to me would be fraudulent. Where it's like, now what I'm doing now is I'm good no matter what. Yeah. And if that's your end game, no, you don't get to be good either way. That's where fraudulent, if you want to know where fraudulent started, fraudulent starts because people don't want to be depressed. Like what Andrew Gunling went through yesterday. Oof. One of the worst sports days in the history of Philadelphia. right? He's downtrodden right now because his Eagles lost to the hated Giants, and the Phillies are out on a ridiculous play we'll get into a little bit later on in the show, right? But because you bet for multiple teams, you're like, I'm good either way because I don't want to suffer. No. You don't have that luxury. You're a fraud. So kind of cushioning the blow, and that's one thing. But if it's like, hey, I'm good either way, my favorite team wins, or I win a bunch of money, so that you're betting, so you're putting yourself in a position not to be disappointed, makes you a fraud.
Russell on YouTube says it's blood money.
It is.
How you feel about that?
Blood money's still worth as much.
But it's blood.
Right?
Can't wash it off, Don. Can't launder it.
Let's get another one here from Neil.
People laundering money.
59, living in North Bergen County, New Jersey. I root for the Mets, Giants, and Devils, and was a big Dave Kingman fan.
Oh, wow.
Me too.
I hate the Yankees, Cowboys, and Eagles, and Chase Utley.
Okay.
I have 3 sons who had no choice to wear the jerseys I gave them. By the time my youngest son came along, he wanted to wear all different kinds of jerseys. Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Christian McCaffrey, and so on, which I allowed. The question is, did I make him a fraud?
No, you make yourself a fraud. You might have influenced it.
I think the whole jersey thing has changed over time.
Yeah, jersey's fashion now. It's not like who you like. Just ask Jake. Jake matches his Dodgers with his sneakers. He hates the Dodgers. He's a Mets fan, but he wears a Dodgers hat because it matches his sneakers.
Yeah, I haven't worn a Dodgers hat since I cut my hair, first of all. We have to leave that alone.
Jacob, you're kind of a mess.
What is it about? A mess?
When it comes to wearing his Bull hat, like, he's got a lot of stuff
Right.
But,
So-called Knicks fan, but he's got a Bulls hat on.
But I think Alan's right. Like, does anybody really think that Snoop Dogg was rooting for the Penguins and when he had the jersey on and gin and juice?
Oh, wow.
Hey,
Snoop's a Penguins fan.
How many points did Kevin Stevens have last night, Snoop? I missed the game.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past Snoop that he might know.
Wait, Domino likes the Sharks? I didn't know he liked hockey.
I think we've got time for one more. This is an interesting one from Sean.
Okay. I like interesting.
I'm going to read this. I'm going to read it exactly as it's written. I am employing the fraud master Sexay Don to rule on the fraudulence of the... listen.
Excuse me?
I don't know what SEXAY is. Anybody in YouTube can help me out. That's what it says, okay? Fraudmaster Sexay Don to rule on the fraudulence of the entitled under 30 Yankees fans with the following supporting evidence to support my claim. I was born in December 1996, so my earliest playoff baseball Yankee memory is lost to Anaheim in 2002. The postseason has been a house of horrors in my entire life with the exception of 2009, and I don't remember the heroics of the late 90s apart from rewatching old VHS tapes in a basement in silence with my dad. Kind of my experience for the most part.
Yeah.
Yet we have to hold this team to a standard that even the almighty Jeter and co. couldn't uphold in 2002, 2003, 2004, etc. This is the question, and this could take the whole show.
Okay.
Is it fraudulent to hold a team to a standard that you weren't even alive to witness?
Ooh.
Oh, Don, I don't know, Don, if you are qualified to answer this, but... Okay.
Interesting.
Wait a minute.
I don't think you're qualified for this.
Wait a minute.
I think this
You're throwing the judge out.
I think this is an in-house conversation. This goes to the kangaroo court.
Could be a topic on the show. Even
this has to be moved to the local district circuit.
This we'll answer this when we come back because there's too much to say here for both myself and Alan.
Yeah.
Because this is a question that I've asked, not this exact question, Alan, but a facsimile of this question I've asked before, and I think it's worth diving into further.
Let's go.
If you'll indulge me.
Let's go.
So let's do that. So always good. Fraud Alert Friday.
Well done.
Thanks for everybody participating. More to come on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg until 7 o'clock here on ESPN New York.
Win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
There's nothing the voice in our head obsesses over like our health. But with over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help answer the questions like, why am I so tired all the time? How can I get better sleep? My friend was telling me about magnesium gummies she takes. Know if my heart is work stress affected? It's time to up my cardio. If my mom has something, how would I find out? It's time to get some blood work done. A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
Right now, police are stepping up patrols to make sure drivers and pedestrians obey our crosswalk laws. Why? Because every year in New York, people are injured or killed just crossing the street. So remember, pedestrians, obey traffic signals and use crosswalks. And drivers, yield to pedestrians in crosswalks. If you don't, we will educate you on the law. And you may get a ticket, because tickets get attention, and that saves lives. A message from the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installations with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head. You can feel good because you're a damn football team.
Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
Is college even worth it these days? At Empire State University, it actually is. They are SUNY's leading online university. Flexible, affordable, and built for real life. With more than 120 degree programs, you can study what matters most to you. And students agree. They're ranked #1 in student satisfaction among SUNY schools. Whether you are finishing what you started or starting fresh, your goals are within reach. See for yourself. Visit sunyempire.edu before the next term begins.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Now, I've asked this question a few times in my lifetime.
Okay.
And I think it's along the same lines as the fraud question we got in the last break. And that is, do you get to celebrate the standard that was set before you were born, was the question that the emailer had. And I've always wondered, as a Yankee fan, do you get to celebrate all 27 when you weren't alive for most of them? Like Alan, you were born, what, 72?
71.
71. So in my mind, you should only be allowed to celebrate the championships of your lifetime. Why do you get credit for? Because otherwise you could just say, oh, I'm gonna pick that team because they got a bunch of championships, right? I mean, you should be able to stick your chest out for the championships that happened in your lifetime or that you remember, right? So you could take pride in the 27 Yankees that happened. That happened 70 years before you were born.
Interesting. So, as an American, then the only years I can celebrate are, the bicentennial and through the 80s into the 90s. So I get no credit. So really, my war record's not very good. Like I'm a 500.
Well,
team.
I don't want to get overly political.
You know what I mean? Like what? But what do you tell? Like history comes with being a fan of a franchise when a franchise has a long history. Obviously, if you're a fan of the San Jose Sharks, which, by the way, second reference to the Sharks today, congratulations to them. But, like, they started in the early 90s. There's not a lot of years there. But it just so happens that one of my teams, like the Islanders, they were born a year before I was. Like, so that's it. Like it's not an old franchise.
Technically,
but you still celebrate the history of your franchise. It's still a part of it.
You're celebrating the history of your franchise. I get it because it's a part of who they are.
Yeah, it tells the story. It adds to whatever it is that is attracting you to it. You walk into a place and you got banners everywhere. If you're a Celtic fan, like that's part of being a Celtic fan is the history of success.
But then that would suggest if that's the case, then,
all right,
then that would suggest that as a New Yorker that you chose the Yankees over the Mets because the Yankees had more championships. That's not exactly a great way.
No. Don't twist
it. To choose a team.
Don't twist it. Don't twist it.
No, I'm not. When I say you, I mean the collective you.
Well, I understand, but it doesn't mean that's why you chose. Some it's family. It's just everybody in the family is a Yankees fan. Whatever it is, like that is that's a choice that is made. But the being a Yankees fan for me wasn't. I was 7 years old. I had no idea that there was this history. What I saw was the late 70s teams there was something just had hit at the right time. The 76 team and the Chambliss home run that led to 77 and 78 between Reggie Jackson and Bucky. Like it was just for me, I was caught up in that. Even though in my house, they were Mets fans. So it's just different.
No, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here to me, because
no, there is. The wrong answer is to say that you can't claim the championships that came before your time. I don't understand that. It's all part of the collective history of the team you root for.
Here's the nuance. I'm a Giant fan, right? So my championships are 86, 90, 07, and 2011. Those are my championships as a Giant fan.
And those are Super Bowls, yeah.
I don't know 56. I wasn't alive. That was 12 years before I was born. But my dad was a senior in high school. My dad left me the yearbook of that season. He told me stories about him going to those games with his dad. So it became mine. I inherited that.
Okay.
So 56 should count. Should 27 count when nobody in the LaGreca family was even on American soil when it happened? I don't claim that. Like, so same with the Yankees. Like, hey, I'm sure there are people out there that have fathers or grandfathers that told them about the 56 Don Larson perfect game. They might have watched it or were at that game, or they remember the championships from the 40s or whatever.
Yep.
But some of them is just like, it's just part of the history that I guess you take by becoming a fan of that team. But pumping your chest for a championship that happened before any of your ancestors were even American, that seems a bit of a stretch. So I think some you do inherit, and some just don't. So you can't claim all 27, Alan, is what I'm saying as a Yankee fan.
Why? It's in the history of the franchise I root for.
And some of them were just...
But no, I care enough. Look, you see the books behind me. I care enough to read as much as I can about the history of my teams.
Right.
And when you know the history enough and you feel good about like these, that you know the stories, and once you know all the stories, I think that just becomes part of the fandom.
It's definitely part of the fandom. But it starts to get diluted when you start arguing like championships that were better that you never saw or nobody in your family ever saw. And it's tough comparing it to the history of America.
The good news is there's so many of them that we've seen a lot.
Right, but you get a punchable face when you do that. By the way,
I do. I know. I can't help it. I've tried to change it. I look in the mirror and I'm like, stop having a punchable face. But it's like it's really like the first thing I think of.
Like
every
we
time
have
I see
27.
myself.
We have 27 champions. The Yankees have 27 championships, and you're a fan of the Yankees. But you, in all honesty, technically, to me, only have.
I have 0.
7.
I never wore the uniform. I can't.
I don't get into that. That's garbage. That's garbage.
Well,
if there weren't fans, there wouldn't be any. There wouldn't be any players to have to wear uniforms.
I watched them and I rooted for. That's great.
But we're important. No. Fans are an important part of the process, buddy. Because without us, there is no money. There's no uniforms. There's no stadium. There's no game. All right. So we may not have won those championships, but in some way, shape, or form, we certainly participated in them. And for me, you know the history, and you claim the 27 championships because that's your favorite team. But your championships, technically, are 77, 78, 96, 98, 99, 2000, and 2009.
2009. Yeah, there's a lot there.
And
I guess
honestly,
I'm happy with that.
And honestly,
what?
Those hit way different because you experienced them.
Yeah.
You read about the 27 Yankees, but that doesn't feel the same as the 77 when you were 6.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't hit the same because I barely knew what was going on.
So can we at least admit that as you claim your championships,
Yankees? Nobody thought they could win.
They're not all equal.
Don, when you're in that light and your white hair is luxuriously glowing in that beautiful light you have going right now, you have this like godlike appearance in a way that I'm almost like now just finding myself just saying, yes, sir.
Does it? Does it make my opinions? Does it win you over? Does it make my opinions more valuable?
It almost like you've disarmed me to a point now where I just want to listen more to like the wisdom that you want to bestow.
I'm really.
Are you bringing the tablets down from Mount Zion anytime soon? That's what
it's
I'm
a beautiful
waiting for.
day here. It's 86 degrees. It's gorgeous down. Of course, my full day off is going to be in Columbus on Sunday.
Congratulations.
Columbus on Columbus Day. But listen, these are
that.
first world problems. But I've been struggling with the lighting because if I put the shades up, then it's too much sun. Right. And if I close the shades, then it's too dark.
No, I love it. You're good right now. You're glowing.
You're going to be going through this soon enough.
Absolutely, I will be. I'm looking forward to it. But because you are in this mode where you're telling me how life is.
I win.
I want you now to come down from Mount Zion with the tablets and give me the rest of the commandments on being a fan.
I think we did that last week.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did do it last week.
That was an awkward conversation.
But
let's not do that again. All right, 5 o'clock hour coming up. Reset on the Giants' big win over the Eagles. We've got picks coming up at 5:45. We've got ENN at 6. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg hanging out with you until 7 o'clock here on ESPN New York.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of journeys, and behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win can change lives. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works, with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our fans get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp.com/timeout.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks Thanks so much, guys. We're going to start off in Jersey, 287 northbound, crawling towards 17 in the state line. Crash over by Camp Gaw Mountain in Mahwah. You're at a standstill there from 208 in Franklin Lakes. Inbound George, about 20 to 30 for the upper deck. Lower level, about 15 to 20 minutes. All of your approaches to the outbound side are packed. Cross Bronx westbound, slam from the Bruckner through to underneath the apartments. Deegan northbound, delays go back across the Triborough into Queens and up onto the Bruckner. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride at 30 to 40. Outbound Honer, only an hour plus. Heavy pockets of delays over at the Tappan Zee Bridge moving into Rockland County. Slowdowns on 287 westbound on the Westchester side from 22 in White Plains. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit mad.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next-day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
This is the greatest feeling in the world.
He can run. He can run all the way to the end zone. Touchdown.
This is why you watch.
Dart finds an open man. Robinson's going to go all the way for a touchdown.
You want energy? I'll open my butt cheeks and give you energy today. Oh, my God.
DiPietro and Rothenberg. Morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. 880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, Alan.
It's Tully time.
It's Tully time.
I nailed that.
Very good.
Right?
There's nothing going on New York-wise. I mean, zero.
You want energy? I'll open my butt cheeks and give you energy today. Oh, my God.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Why did he say that?
Why would you say something like that?
And he said it like he said it before.
He was trying to hammer home some sort of a point.
Oh, he hammered.
Well,
at least
I just don't know if he's coming or going with that. I need to know what direction that whole thing is.
He was all in, whatever it was, but that's
in or out.
I
guess beating Eagles got him like in a different
beating. Yeah.
Call
it
it's
that.
like an oral fixation. Maybe I have an anal fixation.
Oh my God!
Clearly.
All right, you know what?
Jeez.
Good for him, man.
Butt bolts.
Good.
No. So can we no more?
What was going on this morning?
I think I'm good now.
No, we honestly no more of that. His show needs an exorcism. Like, we really need to clean. It needs to be
I think
cleansed.
his show needs an enema.
I'm an awful, happy, butt cheek open guy. That's who I am right now.
This is one win.
He obviously felt something completely different than I felt when the Giants beat the Eagles last night. My experience hit completely different than his experience, apparently.
Clearly. I mean, look, God bless him. Whatever makes him happy.
Listen,
I'm not here to judge, but I don't need to hear that
Good
again.
for him, man.
Ever.
If
we have a drop madness like we plan on having, that's not allowed on it.
I just don't.
Banned.
All of the things that I have said in the 24-plus years at this radio station.
And you've said some things.
And I've said some things. And normally what comes back is, well, that won't be a drop. I don't know why they became drops. But teach their own. Yikes. So other than that, there's nothing else going on in New York sports. But we do have Mariners-Tigers Game 5 tonight.
Wait. Our man Carlin is working tonight, is he not?
That's right. Tonight's Rutgers, Washington, right?
We have Rutger at Washington, right?
Anthony, get them. What's going on with you, man? Is it a Jersey thing? Is it a college thing? Is it a Carlin thing?
I love Chris.
But wait a minute.
Do you, though? Do you?
When we got nothing but basically ass jokes for the last 2 minutes, right? And I'm talking about nothing going on in New York sports, right?
Oh, that's not
Jacob. I don't even. So Jacob apparently has the problem with Chris. Jeez. Is that because I knew I had just forgotten that the game was tonight?
I'm a bad guy. I apologize.
I don't know why you wouldn't, especially when there's nothing going on, and you wouldn't put Rutgers.
I throw Seton Hall and Fordham in the basketball, and clearly I just missed this one.
And I know it's technically not New York sports, but it's just very.
That's
strange
not why.
When
If
they're
I
playing
remembered,
at the Piscataway, they're showing you like the Empire State Building.
Total miss by me. I should have done it, and I didn't do it.
And listen, everybody has been really nice to me
and it's our
since I got the Devil job, right? Congratulating me, promoting the game that I got coming up against Tampa. And everybody's
Sucking up
really
to you
been
you
nice.
can help them. Yeah, no, I know.
But the Rutgers job is a really amazing gig he's been doing for 20 years. It should not be ignored by his own people.
All right. Rutgers, Washington, FS1 tonight at 9. And locally, Cornell plays Harvard on ESPNU at 7.
Now you're getting silly.
I'm reading the NCAA.
I'm just saying that
Cornell, Harvard?
Rutgers, Washington is on the same station the Yankees were on.
Good point.
Actually took Preston on the FM dial, if I'm not mistaken.
No, but I'm not talking about radio. I'm talking TV. The Yankees were on FS1. They were eliminated on FS1. That series was on FS1. And now Rutgers is going to be on, but to Anthony Puce, not big enough.
No, it's only Big Ten.
We should add that.
Carlin is a national treasure.
Loved. But we ignore him. Here, he's
I don't
invisible.
know.
Persona
Anthony
non
ignores
grata.
I do not ignore Chris.
Anthony ignores him. Jacob genuinely doesn't like him.
Yeah, Jacob.
Don and Alan support our brethren. I think he's one of the 2 or 3 best people on the planet. How about that?
Wow, how about you? I think he was the MVP of the Couchcast. How about that?
I think so. But to Anthony, he's just some guy doing some game somewhere.
Chocolate soft serve.
This is not.
All right, so all that was Tullamore Dew, the original
Yeah.
triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. So I enjoyed the Giants win. Not to the point that Dave did. I'm not sure many people enjoyed it as much as Dave did.
Next time you do the Tully read, Don.
There it is.
Right?
Nice.
And it's
I
Friday.
might have Tullamore Dew in this hotel room, and if I opened it, it would probably cost me $400.
That's okay. I'll cover it for you because it's a Friday, and we should.
I got a myriad of alcoholic beverages in here. I'm sure it'd be very expensive to open them up. But no, you beat the Eagles. We mentioned it at this top of the show. But by the way, if you're wondering why we have not taken any phone calls, is that we have technical difficulties.
We didn't pay the bill. Sorry.
Maybe, but either way, it's not working. So that's why you've heard a lot of Don and Hahn today, which is
You're welcome.
No problem.
We've been reading them. I'm following the chat. There's a lot of activity.
All right, so we'll get to those. And we also ran up the poll on the YouTube chat. The question from earlier in the show about are you out on the Jets? And the last I checked it said 58% said no, they're not out. So that's a pretty decent majority of people who say they're still in.
Out of how many?
I didn't see.
Who voted?
I don't know. It was 58-42. What's the chat up to now? What's the poll up to now, Jacob?
Yeah, what do we got?
Hold on, let me see.
Jeez.
Now, usually, if this were the K show, it would be who's in and out of the Jets. It would be 1, no, 2, yes, 3, K's a bad guy.
And that would always win.
And that would always win. But now we don't do that. So
I was actually thinking of putting it on. Apropos nothing.
Yeah, right. But those are the best ones. So how is it going? How's the poll?
Last I looked, it was 75-25. Yes, fans are out on the Jets.
How about that?
All right, are out.
They're out.
Well, when you say out, if you're giving up on the season, I mean, it's 0-5. You're not really. This is not
out meaning like they're not watched. They don't care. They've checked out.
I'm checked out. Yeah, checked out is proper because that's me.
Like you could still watch and be checked out because you're just watching out of like habit.
I'm literally just like I'm watching out of contractual obligation to the show. But aside
that's
from
a good question. So if you didn't have this show,
less.
if you were just man about town Nick reporter, would you be watching Jet games?
No. On a beautiful Sunday afternoon at 1:00, I told you, like I watched the Giants last week more than I watched the Jet game. They were on at the same time. Can't do it, man. I can't watch that kind of misery.
Well,
if I don't have to,
it's hard to check out of something that you've loved for so long. But I can understand that. Like, come on, man.
Am I a fraud, Don, or am I just
unacquainted love?
Is this me knowing that this is not good for me and it's a waste of my time?
No, listen, it certainly is a waste of your time for sure. But the Giant game was not.
That game was
and
good.
for me as a Giant fan, and it was. I got an interesting tweet yesterday. I didn't get a chance to read it about talking about spoiled Yankee fans. And hey, at least you have a team that functions, and maybe they're not winning, but they could be worse. You could be rooting for another team. Like somebody tweeted me, is like that's how I feel when you talk about the Giants as a Jet fan. Like embarrassed about the Giants and how they haven't won in a while and they're not functioning. Well, the Jets say hold my beer, but last night was a special night because it was a perfect storm of things that aren't supposed to happen. The Giants aren't supposed to beat the Eagles. They're not supposed to beat divisional opponents. They're not supposed to win on Thursday night. They're not supposed to win on national television whatsoever. They're not supposed to win at home. All the things that aren't supposed to happen happened. And as much as I love Saquon Barkley, and I do, I had enough of Saquon, all right? Enough of the commercials, enough of the documentary, enough of talking about the divorce with the Giants. You won your Super Bowl, you should be happy. So that made me feel happy. And also, forget like that. It's, hey, I might have a quarterback. I might have a running back. I might have a team worth watching and that might be moving in the right direction. I know it's only been 3 weeks, and they're 2-1 in those 3 weeks, and they had a brutal loss against New Orleans. But, Alan, I'm seeing something that makes me think that this future has a speck of light at the end of the tunnel. And that speck is getting bigger week after week.
Oh, there's no question. It's not the only thing getting bigger the more you watch this team. But I'll tell you what, it should be 3 straight wins, shouldn't it? Shouldn't it be 3? It should be 3 straight wins. That's the frustrating part. But it also tells you that you have the audacity to think they should be on a 3-game losing streak because, and you guys both mocked me last week after that loss to the Saints, when I said, like, I actually saw positives despite the mistakes. They gave the game away with the turnovers.
I didn't mock you. Peter mocked you because now he's anti-Giant because the Commanders maybe feel a threat.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. But like the idea that I came out of that game, and maybe it's because I'm not when you're not a fan, you could take more of that aerial view and you get a different look at it from a distance. And I know that compared to the Jets' pile of filth, that anything looks a lot better. But it was more like because I am watching the Giants from the perspective of, do they have something here? Like, is that legit? Like, does it look right? And it looks right. And they got off to that. They scored twice. By the way, another game where they scored in the first possession. Which,
Right.
Don, that never used to happen.
Never.
So the fact that they're doing that consistently, that they got off to a good start in New Orleans, that everything looked right until all of a sudden a turnover led to another turnover. Like, it snowballed fast, and with a young team that can happen, right? So I didn't come out of New Orleans thinking, this is bogus. Fugazi, he's not really it. I came out of it like, well, they're still a young team. They're still going to do dumb things.
Well,
they still got to fix, clean up some mess. But then this game happens, and it's like, yeah, okay, no, there's legit something here. And I believe that's what that is. Regardless of how the Eagles are in the midst right now of circling the drain. They're going through it again because they have a lot of drama there. That doesn't matter. The bad teams let that team win that game, get away with it. But a team that's got something going on, they find a way to win that game, and that's exactly what you saw. That's what tells me there's something really there. And the energy that not just Dart, but he and Scadaboo, this is again this great buddy cop movie. These two together are funny. There's just something about this duo right now. The energy that they bring as young and, college dude kind of way it can be sometimes. There's something fun about them that the Giants and their franchise have desperately needed. And I think that's important because you see the line feeds off it. You see the defense feeds off it. I'm telling you, Don, there's something that you can just tangibly see that tells you this thing's on the right track. Doesn't mean they're going to win a bunch of games and make the playoffs. Doesn't mean they can't. But it just tells you at least this thing's on the right track.
Yeah, at least it feels like it is. Now, it's only 3 weeks. And I didn't have a problem with the mistakes that the kids made against the Saints because kids make mistakes. My problem with the Saint loss is that this defense didn't sack the quarterback. They allowed a big play. They let the team back in. Like, I understand 5-0, you're not winning very many games, but I didn't like the fact that it was Slayton, the veteran, that dropped the pass and turned the ball over. I got to live with a rookie quarterback throwing 2 picks and fumbling the ball. I got to live with my rookie running back fumbling the football. That's going to happen. And that's why we can't get too giddy about what this could be, because they are going to revert back to that at times because they're still kids and they're still very, very young, and that's what rookies do. They make mistakes.
Effort mistakes. So, at least they're effort mistakes.
Exactly. But I'm saying that Dart's going to throw a bad pick. There might be a game, and it might be against Denver, where they're driving for the game-winning touchdown, and he throws a bad pick. And there's not going to be any excuse for it except the fact that he's a kid and he made a mistake. And we got to live with that, until the point where we can't live with it. And that's not going to be in his rookie season. All right? You're going to have to wait. And if it's really going to be something, Alan, these mistakes turn into gold. That's what sports is supposed to be about. I learn. I make my mistakes, and then I learn from them, and I get better. And that's what you have to hope. And that's why the Saint loss was okay in some ways, but also frustrating in others because veterans were making mistakes, and they still could have won that game. But the only negative that I see around Dart is the way he plays, in the sense that these head-first dives, as exciting as they are, as energizing as they are, is not long-term health for him and is not going to be good news for the Giants moving forward. 2 straight weeks now he's been in concussion protocol. That's going to be a problem. So he's going to have to learn how to create that energy, create those first downs, in which they're converting all these third downs now. They never did that before. And creating all this excitement in the building and on television, but he's going to have to try to do it in a safer way for his long being and for the Giants' long being. That's got to have some sort of an adjustment very soon.
And you know what else, too, what you notice? So with that young energy, which can also, there's times where it just goes too far because anybody that's, that has sons that age, you just know. And you remember yourself when you're that age. You just got way too much piss and vinegar in you, right? And you're just ready to he's ripping his shirt off, all the stuff that's just, it's that energy. It's boundless, and you love it. But they're going to do things that, you tell them, man, subway surfing. Don't do that. As much of a rush as it is, don't do that. It's not healthy. It's not smart. Well, don't go head first to get a first down is also not healthy and not smart. But there's a rush to it because you feel invincible at that age. And yet the head coach, Don, he's kind of showing you a little bit of that lack of control as well, because he's absolutely in love with both these guys, but especially the quarterback. And you hear the way he talks about it. He used the term of endearment, son, when he talked about his performance, that we have a young leader. He uses that. But the real controversy that's being talked about around the NFL right now and is being investigated by the NFL is Brian Daboll going to the tent and sticking his head into that tent to check on Jaxson Dart when he was being checked out for concussion. He was in concussion protocol, and therefore Russell Wilson had to go in the game. And 80,000 people hated it, and 80,001, including the head coach, hated it. But the head coach can't stick his head into the tent and check on his quarterback because that puts pressure on everybody. Puts pressure on the kid, puts pressure on the doctors. It's a bad look. And that's why John Mara had to issue a statement. That's why Dable today had to explain it and say that it was wrong to do it and he can't do it and he trusts the medical. But that's the kind of emotion that we've seen from Dable. He gets fired up on the sidelines. He gets fired up during a game. There's a lot of guys here that are playing with emotion. Somebody's got to be the adult to have control. It's supposed to be the head coach. But Don, in that moment, he didn't show it.
You know, it's interesting when you talk about Dable and how he wears his heart on his sleeve. Because in the negative, remember how he used to just abuse Daniel Jones on the sidelines?
Yes.
Because he let his emotions get the better of him in a negative way. Jones would throw a bad pick in the red zone, and he let him have it. Now the reverse is happening. He's genuinely excited about his quarterback. It's his quarterback. He had a hand in choosing this quarterback in the draft, influenced by trading back into the first round to get him 25th overall. And now he's showing that emotion in a positive way. And just like abusing Daniel Jones was probably taking it too far, this is probably taking it too far in the other way. It's a bad look sticking your head in the protocol tent. It's fun for a while, but you know the headbutting the players and stuff. So he's going to have to, if he is going to be a long-term coach in this league, not just because of how hard it is to be successful when you're that emotional, is that it's just not. It's not something that's going to last a long time if you're that crazy emotional both ways, because it's too much of a roller coaster being a head coach in the NFL. So I think he's going to have to learn to balance that, because as these players grow and mature, they're going to be looking to someone that's going to be that stabilizing factor, and that needs to be your head coach. The NFL is still about discipline. It's still about controlling your emotions, and the head coach has to lead that.
I mean, you know, again, Rex was loved because he showed fire and passion and all that stuff, but that stuff lasts a while. You still have to have that ability to stay control. Look, it's the NFL. We see it on the sidelines. Parcells would lose it. How many times have we seen him and he gets into it with a player, and now all the old school mic'd up stuff, you really hear how he was on the sideline. We have seen coaches show emotion, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but a moment like that not only maybe puts some intimidation on a doctor to hurry up the process because he doesn't want to be the reason why the Giants lose and that you get blamed because you took too long. You have to worry about the patient and not the game. But what about the kid? He's sitting on the table. You know he's already, I want to get back in the game, because you know what that's like, Don, when you have to sit out for 2 minutes. You just, get me back out there. I don't want to sit here. I'm wasting time. The clock's moving.
Right.
But the coach sticks his head in like, you okay? How do you think a kid feels again, I don't know if you've ever been injured, Don, but I have been a million times. And I'm sitting there and the coach's like, is he all right? I'm fine. I'm good. I'm ready to go. Like, you don't want to say you're hurt. So it just changes. It affects the player, and that's dangerous. He can't ever do that again. No coach should ever go near that tent. It's a bad look, and it's the one negative thing that came out of that game last night from a Giant perspective, and it's somewhere where for Dable it's not out of character. It wasn't something new. This is on brand for him, and it's the one issue I have with him as a coach. Man, you have got to get that under control, because if you're like that, the rest of your team's going to be like that.
Well, and you brought up Parcells. But when Parcells did that, in that famous moment in Indianapolis when he's ripping into Phil Simms, that was strategic out of Bill. Okay. Like, Bill did that because he's like, if I can yell at my quarterback, that sends the message to everybody else that no one's above the law. Like, so when he would be emotional, it would be strategic to fire up his team, not like lose it. So I don't want to sit there and pick negatives out. It was an amazing day for the Giants, but if we are going to look at this team moving forward as turning the corner with their quarterback, with their young running back, with this electric defense on the defensive line, and with this head coach, these are the things that have to get buttoned up. Otherwise, they're not going to turn the corner. Because if Dart gets hurt, it's over. If Dable burns himself out from being overly emotional, it's over. Right? So we're coming from this angle because I think we're both in lockstep with this, in a positive way of, all right, if this is really going to turn the corner, this is what has to happen to make that work. Because diving headfirst from your quarterback and an emotional head coach is not sustainable. So I like where they're headed, but it's still very much a work in progress. 1-800-919-3776. As we mentioned, our phones are broken, but you can still get in touch with us on social media. You can still get in touch with us on the chat on YouTube, so we encourage you to do that. We're going to have our picks coming up at 5:45. An outstanding ENN led by Anthony Pusick at 6.
Friday ENN.
Always great, especially when it's leading into Tigers and Mariners at 7:30 here on ESPN New York.
NFL Sunday's coming. You got your crew, you got your couch, your snacks, your slate, and FanDuel is coming in with something extra. This isn't just another NFL Sunday. It's your chance to place that perfect parlay or hit your go-to player prop. And now we're making it even better because this week FanDuel's bringing the bonus. That's right. Right now, all customers can get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back with something extra in your account because that's what Sunday should feel like. Visit FanDuel.com/Peter to download the app and get in on the action before kickoff. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
The Fox Nation Patriot Awards returns for a new year.
Are you ready to get the show started?
Join host Sean Hannity and special guests and be part of the celebration live in New York. Tickets are available now. Go to foxnation.com/Patriot Awards.
Don't take slow for an answer. Not so easy when you're stuck in traffic. But mere inches from someone else's bumper, you can dream of faster things. Like Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at $40 a month. So while you can't always switch lanes for a faster route, you can switch providers for a faster connection. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/fiber today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at Amazon.com/PickupMVP. That's Amazon.com/PickupMVP.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. Still have this problem spot on 287 northbound in Jersey, right before 17 and Mawa on the state line. Car fire being worked on by Camp Gaw Mountain. Delays go back into Wanacue. Inbound George going to run you about 20 to 30 for both the upper and lower decks. No easy way to the outbound side. Cross Bronx westbound going to run you over an hour from the Bruckner through to underneath the apartments. Outbound Lincoln about 45 minutes. Outbound Holland an hour plus. Not moving much in Westchester County. 287 eastbound right before the New England Thruway. Big collision involving a tractor-trailer and a couple of cars. Solid ride there getting into Rye from the Hutch. You stay packed on the New England Thruway northbound with a crash right before the state line in Portchester. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
The Association on Aging in New York is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Older Americans Act, which funds vital programs for millions of older adults. Services include meals, transportation, home care, Medicare counseling, case management, and caregiver support. Today, people are uncertain whether some programs remain available. We can help. To learn more about these essential programs and how to keep them, visit our website at agingny.org. Sponsored by the Association on Aging in New York.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Dive into the Marvel Universe on the official Marvel Podcast with the stars of the MCU.
Everybody's going to be talking about whether we're casting for this character.
The creators of Marvel Comics.
Spider-Man is the greatest fictional character in history.
And Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige.
But if you want the real answer, if we're trying to get real on this podcast,
giving you exclusive access to Marvel's adventures like never before. The official Marvel Podcast. New episodes every Wednesday wherever you listen to podcasts.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Hold on. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg up until 7 o'clock. Got our picks at 5:45. ENN's coming up at 6. So we're looking forward to that. Thanks for joining us on YouTube as well. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Very active in the chat. It's I never really have followed the chat before, but because we don't have the ability to take calls
the
today.
phones are broke.
I've been following along. Man, they have a great time.
So what do we got? Anything good?
A lot of conversation, a lot of fun. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, it's definitely cool. But I have to correct myself. Eddie corrected me on Twitter, and I'm joking. I'm trying to say things quickly, and again, you in this beautiful light that you have going in your hotel room there in Tampa, and the fact that you are just lit up so well that your hair just glistens even more. And so you were preaching to me before, and I said, I can't wait for you to come down with the commandments, and I kept saying Mount Zion. It's Mount Sinai. So I had to get that right.
I'm sorry I missed that.
It's a bad religion. It was I'm a kid that went to 12 years at the Catholic school. You'd think, right? You would think all that religion, all the religion classes that I took, that I'd know that. And the Franciscan brothers right now at St. Anthony's are probably all annoyed at me for getting that wrong. So I apologize.
I was in Catholic school from 7th and 8th grade in grammar school, St. Catherine's, and I went to Don Bosco Tech for 4 years.
All right.
So that's 6 years.
You put some time in.
Of a Jesuit education.
I did 12 years, man. 12 years.
But what I used to do, let's say we went to the mall and there'd be somebody that'd be preaching about something. We challenge them because we had so much knowledge. We would challenge them about stuff. But all that just
no.
Once I went to college, it became all about other stuff.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, the opposite of what Dave was talking about.
Wow. All right, so I'm being accused of definitely reading the chat before, which is odd. David wants to know what my career high points and rebound. My career high points is 38.
Is that your game, rebounding?
No, God, no. But I had a 38-point game. But I wasn't good. So I'm not even going to bother trying to act like I was. I just had one good game.
And where was that?
All the time? I honestly don't read the chats all the time. I'm being dead serious. I am today because it's kind of fun. Most of the time when we're in the studio, I'm reading notes and stuff.
All right, so what did you think, or what was your win total for the Giants going in?
I don't remember what I said, but I didn't have high expectation because I didn't know what to expect.
How could you with that schedule? No, seriously, even if you were,
I thought that, but didn't I? I thought the Giants might have a better year than the Jets, though. I think I might have said that because I was.
Because you said you were down on the Jets from the get-go.
Very, very down.
And, but I think most people that I talked to taking calls, it felt like because of their schedule, you're probably looking at another 3-4 win season, and they're going to blow it up and all that. Now, does it change? Or is this just, hey, they took advantage of a real bad Eagle team right now. It's in a bad way, and we're reading too much into this. Chargers ended up losing the next week against Washington, so and then you lost to the Saints, and that was the Saints' first win. So, or is it so impressive that you're like, I need to take a look at the scheduling and maybe we need to reevaluate.
I'm telling you, man, it looks different. I'm all about, like, what is it? It's something, not to name drop, but to be honestly, like the time I spent working with guys like Keyshawn Johnson, those NFL guys over at ESPN, and you ask them about, like, what do you look for? Like, how do you know? And he always says, it's got to look right. You just know. And I'll say, well, but the record said, forget the record. It's got to, you'll know. It's got to look right. Herm Edwards does this too. He's always like, no, don't tell me the final score. What it looked like. Because that's what I need to know. Is it something that I can work with this? And that's something that I started doing watching the NFL, especially with teams. Look, the teams in New York, all we do is rebuild, right? So it's a very common thing for us to look at it this way. And even with Daniel Jones, there was a lot of times you're like, there's something there, but it just doesn't look right, right? Like even the good year they had with him and Saquon, it was a lot of Saquon, not a lot of throwing, a lot of running, and a lot of defense. And so you just kept waiting for, like, is there more for Daniel Jones? Because I don't know if that's a long-term kind of thing. And Jaxson Dart, I think from the very beginning, it just looked right. But you also knew this guy's Bambi, man. It's going to take a minute. He's going to make mistakes. There's going to be moments where you facepalm because that generally does happen with young players. They start to get the energy up. They start to get their confidence. Then there's some irrational confidence moments, and you got to live through all that until he figures it out. And once he does and it catches, boy, it hits. And that's I'm looking at that and I'm saying that just kind of looks right. When I watched Fields with the Jets that first game, and everybody's giving me the moral victory Monday stuff, and I'm like, you know what though, it didn't look right. Like he had moments, yeah, but those are the same moments I saw in Chicago. Like there was nothing extra that told me, wait a minute, there's something new here. It's just the same thing I've been seeing. But the Dart thing is different, Don. It's different.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But this town blows things up. They just do. And remember when Tommy DeVito beat the Packers on Monday Night Football, it was like, oh, look at this. Now, I don't think anybody believed that Tommy DeVito was going to be the next big quarterback in this league, but they got excited about it because that's what this town's about. We get excited about things. Yep. Also, the timing could not have been better for the Giants last night.
How so?
It had a kind of Linsanity quality to it.
Ooh,
because if you remember the Linsanity game, which was against the Nets, right?
Yeah.
On a Tuesday, right? Or a Monday or a Wednesday, early in the week.
That was early in the week.
And the Giants had just won the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, football season's over. Now we're moving on to something else. And here's this kid playing out of his mind with the Knicks.
Right after
this is occupying our time.
Right after the Yankees.
Right after the Yankees get bounced.
The Giants give you something to hold on to and to move on to without having to wallow in 3 days of Yankee misery. You all of a sudden had something that just distracted you from your – that's a really good comp. Really good comp. I just hope it lasts a little bit longer than Linsanity did.
No, and because I don't think when they got Jeremy Lin, they thought that he was going to be the future of the team. It kind of just happened, kind of like Tommy DeVito. But this is the hope was when they traded back into the first round that this was what they were going to get, that eventually he could become their franchise quarterback. And we're not near that yet. But like you said, it's got to look like something. And this looks like something. But don't throw it away if in Denver he looks like he did in New Orleans. And he wasn't bad in New Orleans, just turned the ball over, right? I mean, he had some nice moments in New Orleans. It just he turned the ball.
Well,
that's going to happen.
But his turn, the fumble was it slipped out of
the
his
fumble
hand.
was just he dropped the ball, and the interception was on a fourth down. One of them he had to, but there were still other things that.
Yeah, the Scatterboot the fumble, by the way, was an unbelievable play. Like punching that ball out like that. Like
but he turned the ball over 5 times, Alan. You can't excuse all of them.
I'm not excusing it, but I came out of that loss, as bad of a loss it was, and again, as somebody who's not a Giants fan, you hate losing. When you're a fan of a team and they lose, like there's nothing good. You just want to spit on the ground. You're disgusted. But I didn't see it from the loss and how you hate losses. I saw it like, there's still something there. Like, it's like you're going to lose games like this. There's something there. And that helped me kind of carry it into this week where I was really curious with an Eagles team that is going through it right now. They've got some internal stuff. You saw A.J. Brown.
On, you
Did you see the A.J. Brown thing?
Yeah.
Where I guess, was it Hurts and Barkley said they had, or maybe it was Smith, said they had a meeting, like a player meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And so they both said it, and that Brown was in it. And then the meeting goes to Brown. They're like, how about this meeting? And he's like, I have no recollection of a meeting. And they're like, well, wait a second. Like, what do you mean? You'll have to talk to them. I don't have any. I don't recall having a meeting. And it's sort of like, man, they got issues. They got issues.
And you wonder how much of it has to do with Sirianni, because if you remember going into the Super Bowl season, they blew up his coaching staff, which always is a shot at the bow of a head coach or a manager when he loses his lieutenants. And it instantly improved the team. But I'm just wondering if it has something to do with that, because now they're kind of reverting back to what they were. It's very interesting. And I still thought the Eagles were going to come back and win, just I guess the Giant fan in me thinking that Philadelphia's eventually going to come out of the half, because that's where the Giants always have trouble, right? Teams adjust against them. Cowboys did it at the half. We've seen it happen before. But the way the half ended,
yes,
all we talk about is it takes nothing to get in field goal range anymore, and just drive down the field. And they could not, they couldn't get the spike before the clock zeroed out. They had no timeouts. The play calling it was just a very curious drive, wasn't it?
How about him sliding before first down so you can't spike it because it was fourth down?
Yeah,
where's the awareness? You had to know. Most of the time, you know where the line is. Him sliding before it. And now you can't spike. Like, that was bad. By the way,
or at least line up for a Hail Mary, because he's got, he could have got the arm down.
Couldn't do it.
It's like he didn't know.
Yeah,
it was a mess.
They aren't on the same page. A.J. Brown did tweet earlier today, just to clear this up, that wasn't a meeting or a sit-down. I said I don't recall because it got painted like there was tension and they had to step in. That's not true. I was walking to my car, saw them, stopped to talk, nothing more.
Oh, boy.
So semantics now. We're going to play the semantics.
Yeah, well, I think I don't think you're going to see Brown have a hamstring injury anytime soon, because he that was a nice back pedal. That strengthened the hamstrings, that back pedal. But no, clearly anybody that's seen football knows that something's wrong there.
Yeah.
As happy as I am about the Giants, I cannot ignore the fact that they took advantage of a team that's just a lot of teams in the NFL would have beaten the Philadelphia Eagles last night.
Well, look, it beat the Chargers, kind of caught the Chargers at the right time, too. 1 o'clock game for a West Coast team that had offensive line issues with injuries, and, you got them to turn the ball over. That was big. Defensively, it helped turn the game. So they had also, again, a home game that got you energy because that crowd was excited to see the young quarterback. They wanted to see something fresh and new, and they got it. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of felt like the same vibe, didn't it? The building had like good energy in it. You got the first possession score, which gets the crowd. That's very important. So there was a lot of things to like there, and there is every reason to believe you really should have 3 straight wins. You should, but you got to earn them. They did not in New Orleans. Is it something you learn from? And it certainly said, look, you're going to see Philadelphia in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're in the rear view.
Oh,
it's not like you're not going to see them until December, and they'll forget. They'll remember. You're going
they're
there.
Going to remember. And
so
the game will be in Philly. So
yeah. So
and we'll see where their season's going to be by that point. But it's time to put our money where our mouth is. Our picks, NFL picks, coming up next. Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Our annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
The Wiz has issued an upset alert.
Number 1 Ohio State, Bama, Georgia, and BYU are all favored on the road. Someone is going down. Join one of the nation's top sports betting analysts, Joe Wiz, on the Fine Line, Saturday at 8 a.m. In the NFL, KC faces another big test as they host the Lions. Plus, the Wiz talks baseball, soccer, and hockey winners. Follow the Wiz on Instagram at Joe Wiz Sports. It's the best bet in town. The Fine Line with the Wiz, Saturday at 8 a.m. Be ready to win.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
Introducing your new Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do list gets to be a lot. Like organizing your holiday shopping and searching for great holiday deals and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Luckily, you can get a PC with all-day battery life to help you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside, backed by Dell's price match guarantee. Get yours today at Dell.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. See Dell.com for details.
Hey, it's Desmond Howard. You want to win the weekend? It all starts with the tailgate. And for me, that means Kingsford Charcoal.
They've been bringing the flavor, the smoke, and the heat since 1920. No wonder they're still the gold standard of grilling. So fire it up, feed your crew, and let the smoke do the talking. Kingsford, the king of the tailgate. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
The city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports. ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
The Fox Nation Patriot Awards returns for a new year.
Are you ready to get the show started?
Join host Sean Hannity and special guests and be part of the celebration live in New York. Tickets are available now. Go to foxnation.com/Patriot Awards.
What's the game called?
Football. These are the Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg Pro Picks.
That's football!
Now, you've made big money off of us this year if you bet against us because we have not been good. But here are the standings. Alan Hahn is your leader with 14 points. His record 6-9.
Terrible.
So good point allocation for you, because I'm 6-9, but I've got 11 points. So that's bad point allocation.
I'm feeling 6-7 though.
Peter's just bad. He's 4-11 with 9 points. So since you are our fearless leader, Alan, why don't you go first?
All right. I don't feel good about any of these this week, and I'm struggling to go because I had to do my cover 5. So I'm 3 out of my 5. What am I going to do here?
Right, you were wishing that you picked the Giants last night.
Well, I did. You guys just didn't hear me.
I did.
So
Nobody heard it.
You didn't hear me thinking out loud.
Three other people on the show didn't hear it.
1 point play. I'm going to go with the coaching matchup. It's not a great game when you consider it, but you got the Titans coming off a win, feeling good about things. A win that they earned because somebody decided not to cross the goal line with the football in his hand. They're at Vegas, and the Raiders are laying 3.5. I think Pete Carroll coaches circles around Brian Callahan, so I'm going to lay the 3.5. I will take the Raiders as my 1 point play.
You should get a point for just watching that game.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, just credit. The next game is my 2 point play. Carolina, who's feeling good, and actually they're a good home team. They're 2-0 at home. They're hosting the Dallas Cowboys, who come in with the best offense in the NFL. You know what else they come in with? The worst defense in the NFL. When does that ever happen? Not often. But I like Dallas. I like them putting up a ton of points. I'll lay the 3.5 on the road, and I will take the Cowboys.
1, 2, 3 point play.
Well, that's a 2 point play. My 3 point
they
play.
setting you up.
Yeah. Ask Jake. We were going back and forth on this one. Jake, you know what game I'm talking about. I mean, Cincinnati's going through quarterbacks.
Oh, listen, it's a terrible game. You would debate.
Like Jake goes through hats. It's the Green Bay Packers coming off a bye. They're home. They're hosting the Bengals. Who's the quarterback this week?
Is Flacco ready?
Is it Joe Flacco was a Brown 6 days ago, and now he's a Bengal. Now he's a Ram. So the spread's is still 14.5, correct, Anthony?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And we all know you want to stay away from those, right? You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. It be calling me. It be calling me. I'm laying the 14.5. I think the Packers smoke the Bengals, and God, I hope I'm right. But I just can't help it. I can't lay off as much as I want to. I'm going to do it. It's a big 3 point play. It's gutsy.
Three.
I'm going for it.
This be calling me, man. Be calling me, man.
I got to tell you. Those are good picks, bad games.
Bad games is right.
I mean, right now your picks involve the Titans, Raiders.
I know. The Cowboys,
the Bengals, and the Panthers.
The Panthers, who's watching that?
Oh,
the Bengals are good.
Oh, my God.
But that's why I was trying to make it interesting. So the 14.5, that freaking hook too, right? Like that, it just makes it interesting. Like, what are we doing this for? Are we doing it for money or are we doing it for entertainment? Are we trying to have some fun? This at least makes it fun.
I guess it does.
And if it's a disaster, I'll own it. I'll wear it.
You'll be here on Monday. You're not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
You're not taking Columbus Day off.
That's why it's the House of Pain. It's the House of Pain, Don.
All right. I want to get off the mat here, see if I can get something going here.
Baby.
Here's my 1 point play. All right. Steelers are home for the Browns. Browns 0-7 in their last 7 road games. Now, if this game were in Cleveland, I might think about taking the Browns. But Pittsburgh, you know what? It's their divisional win. It's under a touchdown. I like the Steelers to cover the 6.5 at home over the hapless Browns on the road. Browns just not good away from Cleveland. That's my 1 point play.
I like it. I like that.
My 2 point play. This is going to sound strange, especially the way they played last week. But I'm like the Cardinals getting 7.5 in Indianapolis against the Colts. And I'm going to tell you why. Kyler Murray, 22-7-1 against the spread on the road. So,
okay,
I like those numbers. And you know what? I think the Colts are going to win. But, the Colts they're kind of due to have a stinker. And the Cardinals, I think, will bounce back after what was just hideous last week in that game against Tennessee. It's 7.5. I think the hook works to my advantage. That's my 2-point play. And
that's
this
good,
one,
that's strategy. That's good strategic. That's a really good strategic pick by you. I like.
And
it.
I'm going to go bad strategy here because I'm going with Dew, and that's never smart, especially for a 3-point play.
With what?
I think the Chargers bounce back. Dolphins are hideous.
Yes.
It's 3.5. It's strong. That hook might end up burning me, but the Chargers back-to-back losses in the NFC still there on the East Coast after the Giants and the Commanders and now the Dolphins. But I think they're due. They're too good a team to lose 3 in a row, so I'm picking them to win the game. The question is, will they cover the 3.5? And I say they will because the Dolphins are god-awful. So I'll go with the Chargers. Covering a 3.5 is my 3-point play. Colts getting 7.5 is my 2. The Cardinals getting 7.5 against the Colts, my 2-point play. And the Steelers covering the 6.5 at home is my 1-1-1-point play.
3, 1, 2,
Now,
3-point play.
Anthony has got Peter's picks. Peter making his picks all the way on the other side of the planet from Perth, Australia.
Usually I try to give the reasoning behind the picks.
No,
obviously,
I want
Peter,
you to even make it up. Who cares?
Well, I think I've figured it out with Peter this week. I think he's giving us teams that he believes in.
You bet your ass.
That's right. Thank you, Peter. His 1-point play, and this is kind of shocking because he talks up this other quarterback a lot. The Jacksonville Jaguars at home are 1.5-point dogs against the Seahawks, and Peter is taking the Jaguars as his 1-point play. I think he
thought about this game.
I think he believes in them after seeing what happened with the Chiefs. The Seahawks traveling east.
Yes.
So he's going with the plus 1.5 Jaguars home dog. That's
I don't
his
hate this pick.
McDonald, the new coach, and he's 9-1, by the way, in road games since he took over. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
That's why I was like, nope, not playing that. Nope.
Well, this is another interesting one. Allen has loved this quarterback and this team early in the season and told us all to believe. Peter is starting to, and also they're just playing a god-awful team, even though the Giants lost to them. The Patriots in New Orleans, minus 3.5. That's Peter's 2-point play, and this shouldn't surprise you, Don. It's a team that you guys both love. You've loved them for a very, very long time, and we know how Peter feels about the Kansas City Chiefs. The Lions getting 1.5 in Kansas City. That is Peter's 3-point play. This is the first time, I think, guys, in 2 or 3 weeks that none of you have the same game or against each other. So we are all across the board here.
You know what they call this in college football? Moving day.
Oh, yeah.
It's moving day. I got to be honest with you. I love every one of our picks.
Okay.
I hate all of the games that Allen picked as far as like entertainment is concerned. But from a pick standpoint, I think it's fabulous. I'm in love with all 9 of our picks. I think we're going to win all of them.
All of them.
How about this? 9-0.
9-0 day. Straight sweep. That? I'll take it.
ENN, an Anthony Pusick vehicle, is next. Don Hahn Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
But let me tell you guys about my friends at Bath Fitter. I have told you the story already. It is something that I really didn't know how this worked. We had a bath in our house that we didn't really use a lot, but it was in an area where you'd think you'd want to use it. But this was a bathroom from like the 90s, right? It was gross. And the bathtub, hideous. But it was something we'd use because it's near a pool. It's in the basement. We had guests. They used to use it. It was embarrassing. So we converted this old tub into his gorgeous shower. Thank you to Bath Fitter. Now you say, wait a second. I thought all they do is just cover up some tub and that's all it is. No. If you want to convert a tub into a shower, they do that. And it's gorgeous. They ripped everything out. They put it back in, by the way, one day. And it's like, it's not what you think. Some people think it's like just a piece of plastic. They just throw it up over the tile. No, it's not like that at all. They have this thing called PermaFit, and it's flat, and it's beautiful, and it looks totally different when it's done. In fact, it upgrades the whole bathroom to a point where you're like, all right, let's just do the whole thing. Let's upgrade everything. And if you're a DIY like me, which is what we did, once that shower was done and it looked as nice as it did, it's like, all right, let's change out everything else. Had a weekend, done with it, and now we have this gorgeous bathroom that nobody ever used, and now it's a bathroom that everybody wants to use. Trust me. It's, you know what? It looks so good. My sister, because, she's got to one-up me. She's like, who did this? I said, oh, Bath Fitter. She's like, can I call him? I'm like, yeah, here's the number. Call him. So now she's getting her bath redone with Bath Fitter. And a Bath Fitter consultant, they just come in, they take you through this great process. They have a free in-home consultation. So what you do is you pick the style, color, all the specifics, accessories, and you update the bath the way you want it, all customized the way you want it. Now, they offer all types of custom bath renovations. I told you about the PermaFit solution. You get a watertight fit. That's right, watertight. I'm telling you, it's not what you think. It looks amazing. The best part is this part. No money down, no payments, no interest for 18 months. That's right. You don't pay any interest until April of 2027. So if you ever wanted to upgrade a bath in your house, now's the time to do it. Bath Fitter, permanent fit solution, the leader in bathroom renovation. It's done in one day. Durable, easy to clean, no demolition, lower cost than a replacement, and of course, the lifetime guarantee. You can trust the Bath Fitter team like we did. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
In New York is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Older Americans Act, which funds vital programs for millions of older adults. Services include meals, transportation, home care, Medicare counseling, case management, and caregiver support. Today, people are uncertain whether some programs remain available. We can help. To learn more about these essential programs and how to keep them, visit our website at agingny.org. Sponsored by the Association on Aging in New York.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the night and an awesome weekend. Get home safe and quick. We're in bad shape out there on the roads. Still have this issue on 287 eastbound in Westchester County, right before the New England Thruway. It's a big crash involving a tractor-trailer and a couple of cars. Not moving much there in Rye from the Hutch. Southbound Deegan over by Van Cortlandt Park South, cleaning up a crash involving an overturned car. Delays go back on to southbound 87 in Yonkers from the Cross County. You stay on the brakes on the southbound Deegan, heading over to the outbound George. Inbound George, about 15 to 20 for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride at 45 minutes. Outbound Hull, now close to an hour and a half. Jammed on the Whitestone Expressway northbound, heading over to the Bronx-bound Whitestone Bridge. Accident at the start of the span. Only one lane is squeezing by. Delays go back onto the Van Wyck from the LIE, making it a bumper-to-bumper ride on the Grand Central eastbound from the Triborough Bridge. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Welcome to Only Murders in the Building,
the official podcast. Join me, Michael Cyril Creighton, as we go behind the scenes with some of the amazing actors, writers, and crew from season 5.
The audience should never stop suspecting anything.
How can you not be funny crawling around on a coffin? No, that's true.
Catch Only Murders in the Building official podcast, premiering September 9th wherever you get your podcasts. And watch Only Murders in the Building, streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Caffeine doesn't have to be bitter or boring anymore. 5-Hour Energy shots are bringing the flavor and the energy. One of my personal favorites, Strawberry Banana. It's giving smoothie vibes in a compact caffeinated shot. Whether you like your energy sour, fruity, or tropical, with 17 flavors, there's something for you. And yeah, it's got as much caffeine as a 12-ounce coffee, but zero sugar and no crash. Big flavor, tiny bottle, tasty caffeine done right. You can grab yours in-store or hit up 5hourenergy.com or order on Amazon today.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. This is an ENN Special Report. Now reporting...
the very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
6:03 in the big city. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg take you up until 7 o'clock. It's our understanding that Peter will be back from Perth on Monday, so this will be our last day with Anthony Pusick handling ENN.
Sad.
Well, thank you, guys. How you doing?
It is sad. Very good. It's hot in Tampa.
Well, yeah, it was cold this morning here in New York.
Well, I felt that. I was 37 when I woke up. So that's quite the shift from 37 to 86 I'll take it.
We'll take it. Let's say good evening to Alan.
Well,
somebody put in a request for that yesterday. Gave me the time in the timestamp of
Really?
the Hour 2 podcast where you
so
said...
we're doing requests now.
I don't know.
Do you remember the context of that? Well,
the context of that, no.
It was in the Yankee conversation yesterday in some capacity.
Well, just hurting.
In stereo, too.
Oh, do that again. I think that's a mix.
We're going to have to try and pull this off. Ready, Jacob? Here we go.
Well.
You just saw the Masters at work.
No mo. No mo. No mo.
Is that what you heard?
Now, this is really...
Listen to it. It's like the Phil Collins song. But now do it again. Knowing that song, now play it.
Well.
No,
that sounded more like...
We've ruined it.
Yeah, no.
We had a good time with it. It was a good 30 seconds. Now it's over.
That sounded like something from my life I never want to ever have to go back to.
Well. Either way. This is really funny because Don was talking about how the Giants are a functioning franchise at the moment, or at least trending on their way to do that. Let's remember this from week 1.
So you can feel good because you're a damn football team.
That was Don talking about the Jets.
Yeah.
Because they kept it close with the Steelers.
It's very fluid.
Clearly.
But was I wrong in week 1?
No. We've come to find out.
The Jets were going to get eviscerated by the Steelers, right?
That was the plan.
That Aaron Rodgers was to come back and kill them, and the Giants, they couldn't even score a touchdown. It was just, what was it, 24-6 was the final score? They got a touchdown, they just didn't get the extra point, which is a problem for the Giants, I don't know if you noticed.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But it changes. It's
How's
very
Graham
fluid.
Gano doing, by the way?
And listen, we're all, how is this entire show, Alan, going to age? If the Giants don't win another game the rest of the season. I mean, so it's very fluid.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't foresee that. But yeah, you were really, really angry week 1 because one team had a moral victory and the other team lost.
Jets had 3 of them.
How times have changed.
Right? Could you say
they have changed?
Would you count the Dolphins stink, right? So it's hard to say moral victory, but they hung in there.
Embarrassing. What do you like? There was no victory there. That game was embarrassing. The
most exciting thing about that game was the couch cast.
Yes, absolutely.
Which was fantastic, by the way.
Samini had a great line.
It was more Mystery Theater 3000 because when they would break down a really bad movie, we were breaking down a really bad game.
I wish we could do a Mystery Science 3000. Watching a game.
Why not?
Just our silhouettes of our heads, right?
Right. So basically, Jets Dolphins was Plan 9 from outer space.
Samini had a great response to a really good question this morning on the morning show when they asked him, do you wish you could trade places with Jordan Renan because the Giants are now this, this fun story, and Rich is like, no, not at all, and that's a grizzled veteran sports writer. You know why he said no? Because he's like, the Jets are actually really interesting. It's a disaster, but it's really interesting. And he's right. He's right.
Everybody rubbernecks on the highway.
Oh, my God. It's sad. But you know what? It's almost like the first thing I thought of was, you know what you're waiting for? The win that's actually a loss. Now that's what you're almost at that point now. It becomes so crazy.
Yeah, that'll happen in, week 16.
Yeah, who's going to get traded? Who's going to get cut? It's just going to be sometimes your notebook's filled, you root for yourself on the story. And despite the fact that covering a losing team sometimes can be depressing, trust me, I've been there. I've covered lots of them. There's also something about a losing team like this where you feel like, nah, this is a different kind of losing. This is epic.
Well, I mean, I don't have the schedule in front of me. Do they have a game left with a team that's only got 1 win?
Stand by.
While we look for that,
because I don't have the audacity to look at,
because that'll be it, right? They'll beat the 1-win team, and they'll finish with 1 win, but they'll have the tiebreaker over that team, and they'll lose out on the first pick.
Well, again, I think you said this already. After the Broncos game in London, foggy London town, you've got the Panthers coming in. You're at the Bengals, then the Browns come in, then you're at Patriots. And we don't know what the Ravens are going to look like when you play them in late November. So,
So you're saying there's a chance?
No. They got the Saints later on in the year.
So what are we talking about? We're talking about a team that could
that Saints game. If you win one, that Saints game could end up being for the number 1 pick. That's
that's
a
it,
December
right.
21st game.
Boy, they need a quarterback. So there you go.
Right.
That'll be it.
And all of a sudden, there's not as many that everybody thought there would be at the start of this year. But one crops up every now and again. So
have you read that? Yeah, there's a Jordan Reed. Is it Jordan Reed that did this the article for ESPN.com?
It sounds right. But the kid from Oregon now.
Yeah, 6 quarterbacks.
Kid
to
from
watch in the
Indiana.
draft. Yeah, typical year.
Injuries, and there are a lot of them in the NFL this weekend. A lot of them you guys know. Lamar Jackson out Friday, ruled out Friday by Baltimore. Second straight week with his hamstring injury. The Niners have ruled out Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall, and Mac Jones is listed as questionable.
Ouch.
That's not great. Allen, not good for you. The Cardinals, Kyler Murray's questionable.
That's me.
Don, not good for you. The Cardinals have Kyler Murray questionable.
Well, no, because Gary from Broadway Elite texts me. He's like, sorry, not for nothing, but Kyler Murray may not play. I'm like, all right, well, there you go.
Questionable is questionable. I knew it was one of you. It wasn't Peter.
We're all questionable.
Aren't we all day to day? We're all day to day, like Vincent Trocheck. Raiders tight end Brock Bowers with a knee. He'll miss his second straight game. That's not great for Geno against the Titans. Dallas Cowboys running back Miles Sanders, a little longer-term injury. He's out for the rest of the year. Season-ending surgery on his left knee.
Yikes.
So he is out. So keep in mind for that. If you haven't made your picks yet for the week, we have. So this would have been important information about 20 minutes ago, but you have it now. You're welcome. Cody Bellinger is expected to opt out of his contract and become a free agent next month. No surprise there, a source told ESPN.
See, that's how you handle it. That's how you handle something with class. He knew he was going to opt out.
Oh, yeah.
But right after his team was eliminated from the playoffs, he said, I'm going to talk about it with my family. Right. Not Pete Alonso. I'm opting out. And Soto, no hat, Cole with the
Boris.
The agent hat, the Boris hat. Like, guys, I know it's a business, but can you at least not be completely tone deaf? And I love Pete, but I don't think he got hammered enough for that. Like, listen, humiliating end to the season, and I'm opting out. You could have given it a day, like Cody did. He handled it with class.
Because he didn't opt out very much long after he said, I don't know, I'm going to discuss it with my family. So he probably knew and said.
Yeah.
And I think he also still has the difference here is I think Alonso wanted to be back the first time. This time, knowing what he did and what he knows, maybe he doesn't want to be back. And with Cody, I think he does, in some capacity, want to be back with the Yankees, or would like to be back with the Yankees, if the money's right, of course.
I mean, it's not the season, but, Pete, they didn't want to pay you last year. I know you had a better year, but you're a year older. The analytics crowd isn't going to still be in love with you, but, I wish him luck.
Well, if Judge isn't this type, but he should, I would definitely make a clear, strong statement to Hal, not to Brian, because Brian ain't going to listen. But I would tell Hal, Bellinger needs to be here because I already lost Soto. Can't lose this dude.
Him or Kyle Tucker?
No, everybody's high on Tucker.
Yeah, but didn't he have, he had a half a season, right? Didn't he really – he wasn't great early on in Chicago, right?
By the way, it's still going on because they're still in the playoffs.
That's a fair point.
That surprised me a little bit, didn't I? I thought, are the Brewers just going to sweep him out, but good job. So it's been a home series, and they got a Game 5 there. So, baseball caught break, got a couple of Game 5s, right?
Those games will be on our air, either 880 or 1050 this weekend.
That's situation. Great.
I think the Rangers are taking the games off the air on 880, joining in progress. In their entirety, you'll hear them on 1050, if you're interested in that. Buster Olney was on with Caster earlier. He was asked, what changes will we see the Yankees make?
I don't think there's going to be, change in terms of the people who make the decisions. Brian Cashman, Aaron Boone, et cetera. I do think there is going to be an examination this winter about, getting closer to what Toronto is, which is this team that puts the ball in play. I mean, we've seen the success of the Milwaukee Brewers this year. We've seen the success of the Blue Jays. And as we saw 3 years ago when the Yankees were very right-handed and wound up making adjustments going left-handed, I think there are going to be adjustments in how they play the game going forward, attempted adjustments. We'll see if they're successful in doing that.
So we have an audit. We had an examination. Anything else?
An autopsy.
A colonoscopy. There should be a baseball colonoscopy. to see if there's
I'm an awful, happy, butt cheek open guy. That's who I am.
Maybe you do that.
We did not need to go.
Well,
back
that one was for Rick. Because Rick asked me, did the guys hear Dave this morning? I said, they did.
Oh.
And he wanted to know our reaction. And
you can't unhear it now.
No, it's. I hope I never repeat those words because I've heard them so much. It's muscle memory now. I was thinking more lobotomy, Don.
Energy.
Yeah, I just figured, No. Shock and awe. That's what I'm about. I
just.
So with that, you
change
figure
anything, right?
Well, but if Buster's pretty much. He's really good at what he does, right? He's got his finger on the pulse. So then you would think that Bellinger is somebody you keep.
Because he's a contact guy.
Right. And if you're going to try to cut down on the strikeouts, I wonder, does that mean that Spencer Jones is going to be on the market? Because he strikes out like 50% of the time. So
Anthony Volpe strikes out a lot.
Yeah,
right.
Well,
but still,
1 for 15 with 11 strikeouts, man.
Caballero's got another year left on his contract. So if Buster's right,
and Lombard Jr. is waiting in the wings.
I believe in an article, Castillo on ESPN said that he's not in the cards for this year.
They say that until he shows up and he's raking.
Yeah, because he had a great spring, right? But was he like 19, 20 years old?
He just got to AA this year, as you know.
I know.
He'll have a good winter.
I'm just saying, if he has another great spring, what are you going to do?
Let's not put more Somerset guys on so they can get traded.
And let's not cut down.
We had the catcher on. In 2 weeks, he was gone.
He gone.
Buster, what do you see the Yankees doing with our good friend Anthony Volpe?
When you sit down in a conference room in the wintertime and you do a player evaluation, I wonder if what's going to be conveyed is going to be different than what we heard during the year. Because I know this. You talk with folks with other teams, and they're like, yeah, he looks fried in New York. It's a case of a player who, being from the area, a lot of pressure, number one pick, Yankee shortstop, all that seems to have piled up on him. And there were so many stretches in which he really struggled as a hitter. Will they have a different view once they get into the room? And let's face it, a big part of it is it's like changing managers. You can say, yeah, we'd like to change the manager, but you better come up with a plan B.
Now, you guys remember me saying that, right, about Volpe? And I was defending him for most of the season, and then we reached the point where I was saying, I think he might be playing his way out of here because it just might be too much for him. The city itself, the attention, there's a lot of family around him. The thing with family is they pay attention to everything being said and written and talked about on social media, and they all get defensive, but it all gets back to him. And it's like maybe some guys need to get out of here. You love playing for your hometown team, but it's not always, the dream scenario you thought it would be. And they might reach that conclusion with him that maybe he needs a fresh start somewhere else. So we'll see.
Now,
but
you have to live, but you then Alan, you have to live with the possibility that he goes someplace else and becomes the player you thought he was going to become, and be okay with that. Because if it is just New York was too overwhelming, then maybe he goes to, Minnesota or Cleveland and becomes an all-star, and then people start to criticize. But hey, that's just good for him.
Keep in mind,
it wasn't going to work here.
I do believe this is an arbitration year for a couple of Yankees. One of them being Anthony Volpe. Ask Dylan Betances how those arbitration hearings go.
Not great.
The Yankees don't pull any punches. Yeah. So if they do feel that there are flaws in Anthony Volpe's game, he's definitely going to hear about them.
It gets real personal.
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
Remember,
in that,
Dylan
when you
really
sit down in a conference room in the wintertime.
No, Buster, we already did that. I'm sorry.
Come on, enough. We love you, Buster, but enough.
I think what Buster realized is he looked at the clock.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, get a move on. You want to know why?
Oh.
Because just because Peter's not here doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Yes.
It's the NFL announcer lineup.
Go.
And we start early. Alan, get your coffee ready. Greg
Alan's good.
Greg, Dan, and Ray D got to get their tea.
I'm going to get my
Alan,
bodega cat ready.
Because it's
That's what I'm gonna get.
foggy London town. Oh, yeah. The Denver Broncos and the New York Jetropolitans on NFL Network, if you're interested. Rich Eisen on the call.
I love it.
Thank you, Rich.
Whoa.
Kurt Warner.
You FaceTime me in the middle of my massage.
I'm sorry that we did that. Sarah Walsh.
Oh, I got a ma'am. I'm so old.
1 o'clock, Fox. The Rams versus the Ravines. And for a game of that magnitude, you get the A-team. Kevin Burkhardt on the call.
Keith, these are definitely not pumpkins.
I'm sure we can get other ones for Kevin Burkhardt. I just really like that one.
I know.
It doesn't even have to be October.
No, that's good.
Tom Brady.
If I wanted to have fun, I was going to go to Disneyland with my kids.
Aaron Andrews.
Who was talking about you?
Maybe Tom Rinaldi.
How spectacular and great is this?
Should be a interesting game. No Lamar Jackson, so could get ugly.
No.
Fox, 1 o'clock again. Dallas Cowboys at the Carolina Panthers. Adam Amin on the call.
No, stands erect.
He'll be joined by Greg Olson.
I'm aggressive by nature.
And Pam Oliver.
I'm not dead yet.
Oh, we changed it
Hey,
up.
Pam?
Good job.
We've got some new ones.
1 o'clock, Fox again. The Arizona Cardinals and the Indianapolis Colts. Kevin Kugler on the call.
And it's caught! It's a touchdown!
Darryl Johnston, what's his nickname again? And Allison Williams. Allison, I'm sorry. I'm going to look at the camera.
Can we have 1 week where there's no straw? Just
take responsibility. We will find an Allison Williams. She just has to say something funny that awful announcing clips. This is where it comes from. I don't know what to tell you. Fox again, 1 o'clock. Seattle Seahawks, Jacksonville Jaguars. Chris Myers on the call.
Hi, I'm Chris Myers.
He'll be joined by Mark Schlereth.
Lick my fingers and touch it.
And friend of the show and friend of ours, Sarah Kustok.
Well, that's basketball, John.
I like that one.
Sarah's great.
All right, we finally got into CBS. 1 o'clock, Chargers at the Dolphins. Andrew Catalan on the call.
Adam Catalan on Andrew. Damn it.
There you go, Peter. Charles Chuck Davis.
Joey Porter's getting away with being a little bit handsy early in this game.
All right, Jason McCourty.
It's okay, Rondé.
And A.J. Ross.
Texans running back Joe Mixon dapping it up.
1 o'clock, CBS, AFC North battle, Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ian Eigel on the call.
That's gotten ugly.
J.J. Watt.
Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse.
And
the lobby is bustling. There is an energy here.
Never change that one.
You can't do it. I see cuts of Evan, and this one just stays forever. Much like somebody else later in the day on NBC. But we are still in the 1 o'clock window. Yes, we haven't gotten to 4 yet, boys.
No.
It's the the Battle of the News. New England Patriots and the New Orleans Saints. Fordham's own Spiro Didi's on the call.
My heart is always at the Jersey Shore.
Boomer? Who's this color guy?
Archuleta.
And Aditi Kinkwabala.
Joe Flacco, do you ever age?
We're going to find out. He's playing the Packers.
Yeah. Soon.
We're going to find out very soon if Joe ages. On Fox, 4:05, the Tennessee Titans at the Las Vegas Raiders. Coming off of a water polo match, Kenny Albert will be on the call.
Short man with a long stick.
Yeah.
We've talked about that stick in the past.
We have?
Thank you,
God.
Dave.
You're
Dave
a
was
tripod.
involved. Did a great
Was
job
that
last
last
night on MSG.
Really good.
Oh.
He'll be joined, of course, by his color guy, Jonathan Vilma and Megan O'Leary.
At this point in your career, to have a performance like this, I can't even take you serious. I love it.
4:25 window CBS. San Francisco 49ers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Probably not what they hoped to have signed up for when they booked this, but you do get the A-team. It's Jim Nantz.
Hello, Fritz.
And Tony, what do you always say to Jim?
Here we go, Jim.
And Tracy Wolfson.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. This is the game you have.
Feisty.
This is what you have. And, of course, the other 4:25, the Bengals, the Packers. Kevin Harlan on the call.
That was a thick pick.
Trent Green.
Holy smokes.
And Melanie Collins.
This rivalry never disappoints. When you Derek, take me through that run.
Sunday Night Football, Lions, Chiefs, NBC 820. You know the time. You know the people. It's Mike Tirico.
They still seem to resonate.
There are 3 teams.
Will never change. Will never change.
Makes me sad, though.
Chris Collinsworth.
By next weekend, you will have a TikTok video. You got to put one down.
And Melissa Stark.
Oh, okay. Nothing like live television. I'm okay.
I think she was hit by a football there.
Yep.
Yeah. Guys, we have it again. The Monday Night Football doubleheader.
Exciting.
First game, 7:15, Buffalo Bills, Atlanta Falcons. Chris Fowler on the call.
And the bad news gets worse.
No, Chris, it'll be a good game. Lewis Riddick.
No, Lewis Riddick.
I find it hard because you want to know why? He's such a professional.
He comes on our station, though. He's a guest.
And he's a professional. So there's nothing that funny droppable that I can make for Lewis Riddick.
Go, find him on Get Up. There's a lot of funny things.
I will look harder. Dan Orlovsky.
I think cream cheese is stupid.
See? Lewis doesn't dabble in these types of things. Katie George.
You guys are a mess. I hope you guys realize.
Yes, I do, Katie. I do. And Peter Schrager.
It was spitting. How do you say it?
All right.
Schrags. When are we getting him on? He's awesome.
We'll get him on. We'll get him on next week. We'll try and figure it out.
Let's do it.
All right.
We don't even need a reason.
Chicago Bears, Washington Commanders. Peter will be locked in on ABC at 8:15, and he gets Joe Buck.
See ya.
Troy Aikman.
Yeah, feed him.
Lisa Salters.
Welcome to the playoffs.
And Laura Rutledge.
Enjoy that flight.
We will. Thank you, Laura. That will do it for the NFL announcer lineup, and of course, that will do it for ENN.
That was so good. By the way, you're getting high praise in the comments about your performance on ENN, Anthony.
Oh,
it's
thank
really
you,
so
buddy.
good. And you know what? We wouldn't even have gotten to the announcer lineup by now if Peter were doing it. So we were able to all fit it in the clock. It was really terrific
when there's
job.
no net, we don't have. We have. It's a loose clock.
No, you're
Right,
you're
but-
setting a standard of excellence here that
Really
I think we need to uphold as we continue on.
Very kind.
Well, we will see. Now, usually we'd line up the phone calls, but again, still technical difficulties with that. So we've got plenty left to do here until 7 o'clock on Hahn Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
Hey guys, I want to tell you about Amazon Pickup, the ultimate convenience play. We all know Amazon's a part of everyday life, but Amazon Pickup takes it to the next level. If you're time pressed and on the go like me, you can choose to send your orders straight to a secure pickup location that works for you. Amazon lockers and counters, they're located near you. No matter where your day takes you, your package is ready when you are. Life never slows down. So instead of worrying about timing or schedules, your package is waiting for you. For me, with work, family, little baby at home, I'm always on the move. And Amazon Pickup gives me that flexibility to grab what I need between shows, errands, my commute, or while the baby's catching a nap. It's simple. Order online and at checkout, just choose the pickup location that's most convenient. You'll get an email confirmation when it's ready with instructions to pick it up. Quick, secure, and always at no extra cost. Check it out for yourself. Go to Amazon.com/pickupmvp to learn more. That's Amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same day or next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18+. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
So we touched on a little bit, Alan, earlier in the show about what a terrible night it was for Philly sports, considering how the Eagles lost. But, more importantly, the Phillies are eliminated in just heartbreaking fashion. Yeah. Kerkering bobbles the comebacker, but has time to get the runner at first to end the inning. 2 outs, bases loaded, to send it to the 12th inning of a tie game, and inexplicably throws home, no chance to get the runner. Dodgers win, advance to wait the winner of the Brewers and the Cubs, who have a Game 5 coming up on Saturday. And I mentioned I was on the K Show earlier because we had Andrew on, and he said that the fans have actually been pretty good. Philly's not known for giving athletes who screw up a soft landing, but how do you not feel for him? I know it was an awful play. Not dropping the comebacker, but the decision to go home. He obviously just had one of those moments. And it's killer, and you feel terrible for him. But what a way to lose a game, and then the Eagles lose the way they lose, and tough day for Philly sports.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for him. We've been through enough of this.
I felt bad for
York,
Andrew,
right?
though. I love Andrew.
Well, it's funny because, again, I know your feelings about Kevin Nagandi, but he's a good friend of mine, and he's a big Philly fan, and we were texting during Game 2 back and forth. He was at the game, so there was no way I was going to text him last night. Seeing the Giants winning was one thing, but seeing how that game ended was just heartbreaking. So yeah, it definitely was a tough night, but I don't know. I when it comes to Philly, I have zero compassion. Zero. What do you think?
I get
think,
it. I just feel
tough
bad.
night in New York, like last week when we had what was it? What was last week? It was just what was the day, Anthony? What was the day last week that it was like 4 teams, everybody lost? Was it Sunday?
Yeah, when we came on Monday.
The Yankees got smoked.
It was a bad Monday.
It was this
right?
past Monday. Because we opened the show with the Blue Jays up 2-0, and the Jets and the Giants both lost.
Yeah, okay. Nobody was apologizing here.
I'm not apologizing for it. And listen, the Eagles are just coming off a Super Bowl, so
exactly,
no big deal. I mean, but
it was
Andrew
tough.
surprised me.
The way to have that end there, and for Kerkering, it's a killer because you react, you minute. Again, I don't know, Don, if you've ever had that kind of a moment in a real game where the minute you let it go, you just know, and it's the most horrible feeling that you know instantly that you made a bad decision.
Yeah.
Like a fatal decision. Because that's different. It's one thing to make a mistake in the middle of a game, and it's an embarrassing mistake. But it's another thing to know that this just ended the season because I had a brain fart at the absolute worst time. And you see, Real Muto is pointing to first. He's not even trying to catch the ball. He's like, no, just go to first, man. This is over. This inning's over.
He just panicked.
Yeah.
And And listen, it would be different if it would have been a close play at first. He would have been out and they go to the 12th. Now, maybe they lose the game in the 12th. But talking to Andrew, he believed that Philly had a chance to go to the World Series. And they might blow that up now because there's a bunch of free agents on the team.
Yep. Schwarber.
And Thompson may get fired. So,
I think the only guy that – I'm sorry, Don. The only guy they're stuck with, I believe, is Turner. I think there's a lot of options to consider. Real Muto, obviously. Does Harper have an option? There's something with Harper, I thought. So, look, first of all, if I'm the Mets, you cherry picking? Right? Are you gonna like just be a buzzard there and just fly around and just see what can I get?
Why not? You already have the second highest payroll in baseball.
What's the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
what's the difference
trying to
at that point?
move some money, if they're moving, like why not?
But it was just you feel for him, tough play.
Yep.
And so because you never know, like the game's in L.A. right? But if they win that game, that's 2 straight wins in L.A. Then they go back to Philly for Game 5.
Yeah.
So the door would have been open for them to maybe. And listen, I know the Dodgers are good, real good. They've only lost once so far in these playoffs. But they do not have a good bullpen. But they're using some starters like they did last year, kind of mix and match in the bullpen. I think that'd be a heck of a series coming up either against the Cubs or the Brewers. Because give the Cubs credit, they got off the mat. I thought the Brewers were going to smoke them winning those first 2 games in Milwaukee. The Brewers didn't. Cubs held serve in Chicago, and now they go back to Milwaukee on Saturday. And you got a good game tonight that's going to be on our air on 880 at 7:30.
Look at you.
When the Tigers play the Mariners in Seattle.
Look at you. Good job. It's a good segment.
So, but I just want, but as a Yankee fan, Alan, is like, are the playoffs done for you? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah, no,
yeah. I get that.
It's a rumor.
I get that.
I mean, I again I do the right thing, and I'll watch highlights just to make sure I'm up on what's happening. That's why I was, again, I saw that play. I was busy last night with the game, the Knicks in the preseason, and that's going to start, affecting my attention more than anything else. But I'll keep an eye on it. But right now, like for me, it's still raw. So when you're asking me, am I watching, I can't even, honestly, I can't watch tonight. I can't watch Tigers Mariners. I can't watch that. I certainly won't be able to watch the ALCS. I have a hard time watching that. If it gets to a game 6 or 7 and it gets a little more epic, maybe I'll check in. But it's hard right now because it's raw. Like you feel like your team should be there, and they're not, and it just annoys you. So I need a minute.
Well, like I said, if you're looking for a rooting interest, if I were a Yankee fan, I'd be rooting for the Blue Jays because I think it would hurt more if the Blue Jays went quietly against either Detroit or Seattle in the next round. But not having a dog in the fight, it's been a long time for the Blue Jays. They've been going after it for a while, haven't won since the Joe Carter home run in '93. Brewers have never won. So, I got no love for the Dodgers. I don't have any feelings at all for Detroit. So, I mean, right now it's just the case of, like I said, I'm not going to be watching every pitch because there's going to be hockey going on and football. Like last night, it was tough with all the things that were going on with the locals playing in the NHL, and then you had the football on that. But baseball's the one thing you can kind of check in on and still feel like you're engaged.
Yeah, because his at-bats take forever. You can watch one pitch, go out and come back and still see the next pitch. So, all right, Dom, you did say it, and I am curious. So the Rangers get a 4-0 win in Buffalo, so they turn a shutout loss in the opener to a shutout win up in Buffalo. So they respond by showing you something. But, you are calling the Devils tomorrow, 7 o'clock MSG. We should be all tuned in to hear Don in his first regular season game with his team, and it'll be exciting. But what did you see out of the Devils in what probably was a pretty entertaining game against a team like you said, the Carolina? They do struggle against them.
They do.
Gracie's sending me updates throughout my game, telling me what's going on about how Jack got his first point, then Luke got his first point. She said that she told me that Markstrom played great. She said he was terrific.
I think he'd want the Jarvis goal back that ended up being the game winner, but there were some breakdowns there defensively. Because you look at a final score 6-3, they got killed. Well, that was a 3-3 game with less than 4 minutes to play. Jarvis scored, and then they got a goal and then an empty netter to make it 6-3. You like the fact that their blue line, Hamilton with a goal, Luke Hughes, 2 assists. But Carolina's got their number. And, another team that's got their number is Tampa. We were talking to Sheldon Keefe before we left about Tampa's been a bad matchup for him. So you start the season against 2 teams that kind of had your number, and you want to set the tone, right? Like Pittsburgh's 2-0. I don't think that's going to mean very much because I don't think they're a very good team, but they're 2-0, right?
Right.
As Dave Maloney used to say, points don't go bad. So you get the points where you can. You don't want to get off to a slow start. So we'll see if the Devils can bounce back against the Tampa team that still, has Kucherov, still has Hedman, that still has Point. They're a really good team, still has Vasilevsky, who's probably the best goaltender in the National Hockey League, maybe next to Bobrovsky. So that's a challenge. Rangers, you brought up the Rangers. Listen, they won the game, right? But that was 1-0 for too long, right? Against the Buffalo Sabre team, no one played. Greenway didn't play. Benson didn't play. Power didn't play. But they did what they had to do, right? And Shesterkin made, 33 saves, and they get the win. They got a couple of games coming up this weekend. And the Islanders, Alan, it's the same old, right?
Yes, it is.
You score 4 goals, which is great, but again, third period, and the other team always seems to get the goal when they need it against them, and that's not what you want.
And Drouin's been suspended for the cross check. And so, and he gets that's a part of the offense for you that they just, for whatever reason, offensively, they just always seem to struggle, and so you lose a guy that's supposed to help you there. But I always like to focus on the positives because, again, I've already told you going into the season, I don't have high expectations on this team. I think they're going to be one of those hovering around, trying to fight their way up into the last playoff spot. I just don't know if there's enough there to make them a playoff team, unless, of course, some guys just reach back into the, into the hot tub time machine and pull out the way they used to play. But they're all older. But the kid Schaefer, man, he looks like it. You've heard what they say about him. But when you watch him, and I got to watch some of it, just watch him live action. And I'm big on how does it look? That he moves right, he's fast, he's rangy, he's got unbelievable hands. I mean, how about
was he playing with Mayfield on the third pairing?
But yes, and the thing what I loved with him is it's like the first opportunity for him to make a play, he makes a play, and he gets his assist right away. He didn't have to wait.
Right.
He just right away gets the first assist.
No,
it was a great shot by Drouin, but it's how he relocated. He caught the pass, which was not an easy pass, and he made it look so simple, like he's playing the cross, and he just caught it, controlled it, and made the right play. There's just I hate to say aura, but there's just something that, when you watch him, he looks very, very comfortable within the flow of a pro game for a kid that just, by the way, he's 19. They've got something there which will be fun to watch grow, and they've got to continue to try to build around him. They have some good young talent, but it's going to take time. But I'm watching him this year. That's for me on the island. Yeah. That's what I'm about. I want to see this is the beginnings of this franchise's next Dennis Potvin.
Well, because like you said, the one negative about the Islanders is it kind of looks like the same old. Yep. That's going to change with him, right? So. And to have that on the blue line is so special. You go back to those Devil teams with Niedermeyer scoring. You look at how good Colorado is with Makar, what he produces on the blue line. That's what this sport's about now. You got to be able to supply some. You got your stay-at-home guys, but if you're able to get points out of your blue line, Fox a couple of years ago when he won the Norris, getting points. I mean, when the Rangers were always good. When I did the post game and talking about how the Rangers would always be in the top 5 points from defensemen. That's when you know you're good. You're going to get what you're going to get from your top 6 forwards, but you're able to get that kind of production from your blue line. That's going to be special. And if he turns out to be, you just said the name, right? That's the name that every Islander fan's hoping he becomes.
The best defenseman in the history of the franchise. Yeah,
that's going to be hard to do.
Yeah, that's the standard. But it's there, and you expect him to be that guy that becomes the all special teams kind of player, where it's power play, where he's also important on PK. Yeah. Where he is driving the points from the blue line, which is where this game is now. I'm looking forward to that. They obviously have the goalie, and that's also helpful too, but he's not getting any younger. some of that young talent has definitely got to age well there. But, so that's why I have them third. But I am excited for you, Donnie. I know we got one more segment, but I am excited for you in this call tomorrow, not because it's new, because you've called enough games to do this, but because it's also, for me, it's the start for you. This is, game one, and at some point you're going to be like, hey, this is my 500th game. Where'd the time go? That's what I'm excited about, is the beginning.
Well, the grind starts for me tomorrow, and it starts for you very soon with the Knicks, and there's a lot of hype around them. So, listen, we closed the book on the Yankees. We hope that the Giants can give us something here for the next couple of months, but I think the one team that everybody's excited about, what the Knicks can do this season, certainly a ton of expectations upon them. We'll see if they can live up to it, and we'll see what the hockey teams can do. So it could be a pretty fun winter here. Hahn Rosenberg, take you up to the top of the hour here on ESPN New York.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of journeys, and behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win, can change lives. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works. With an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our fans get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/timeout. That's betterhelp.com/timeout.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
The Association on Aging in New York is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Older Americans Act, which funds vital programs for millions of older adults. Services include meals, transportation, home care, Medicare counseling, case management, and caregiver support. Today, people are uncertain whether some programs remain available. We can help. To learn more about these essential programs and how to keep them, visit our website at agingny.org. Sponsored by the Association on Aging in New York.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
for Kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877 for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 for Kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877 for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS for Kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
So Peter will be back with us on Monday, fresh from Perth, Australia.
Fresh.
As this show is Globetrotters, man. Eventually, Alan's going to be out and about with the New York Knicks.
Yep.
Oh, good, man. Cool.
So in the football season of 2017, the Jets were bad. So bad that I just decided I'm not watching. I can't watch. And I knew, okay, they're going to have a high draft pick, Don. And I said, and I was doing shows at night, so I'd be on after you guys a lot. And Anthony was working with me back then, and he remembers this. And I said, I started getting myself focused on college football. So I was watching remember Anthony, remember those Mac Wednesdays?
Oh yeah.
So you can feel good because you're a damn football team.
So I have the great Eastern Michigan versus Toledo games and stuff like that. Like I'm watching
right.
that. We're looking for quarterbacks, and that's how I came across Josh Allen watching Wyoming football. I swear to God, I did. Ask Anthony Saturday nights.
He was in on that.
Watching that Lamar,
Wyoming, North Texas games.
Man, those were good. My wife would wake up going, "What the hell are you watching?" It's like 11:30 at night. It's ESPN the Ocho, and I'm like, "This is Wyoming. This kid Josh Allen's good." Lamar Jackson at Louisville, all of it, and obviously Sam USC, Rosen. I had him on. All of it, and Baker, and I don't know if I can't do it this year. Like tonight, Anthony, what do we got tonight on the menu?
Well, we have Rutgers.
Yes, we know about Rutger.
We do have Rutgers.
But if I'm looking for a quarterback who's going to be in the draft this coming year, what am I watching tonight?
Well, I don't know if you're going to be on it tonight, but the two darlings that have now cropped up are in Indiana and Oregon. So you've got Moore from Oregon.
Dante Moore.
And you've got Mendoza from Indiana, and those are the two now.
Fernando Mendoza.
With Arch Manning, with Texas not even ranked anymore, by the way.
Mendoza's big, man. He's 6'5", like 230, 220, whatever, like a big kid.
And they're souring on Nussmeier a little bit now. Not souring, but he's not the surefire.
What happened to Sellers? Is Lenore Sellers, did he fall off completely?
He's fallen off a little bit, too. He hasn't had the greatest last couple of weeks.
This is where we are, Don. And people are going to tell me, Carson Beck.
No. Well, listen, he transferred, and it ended up being the right move for him.
Guy's 30 years old. He's like Van Wilder. He's been in college forever.
Here's the problem, is that it doesn't seem like the scouts in the NFL put a lot of stock in the actual college game. These guys make jumps during their pro days. They make jumps during the combine.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they put a lot of stock in the stuff that we do. We watch these games because I saw Baker Mayfield completely jump to number one because of his combine, right? Daniel Jones, same thing. Maybe the Giants took a flyer at 6, but it was a little bit later in the process because they got to go through their Wonderlic test, and then they have their pro day, and then they talk to all the coaches after the season's over.
How about Dart? Dart wasn't on it. People weren't screaming about Dart all season, but the process came around, and suddenly Dart started moving up the ladder. It's another.
But what we do as fans is we watch the games, right? And we see, or we look at the YouTube highlights of what they do. But they look much deeper into that. So I don't know who's going to end up being the front runner. Everybody was in love with Arch Manning. Looks like they've fallen out of love with him. But the real moves are going to be made once the season's over. And by the time we get to the combine, it could be somebody we're not even talking about, that everybody's going to be jonesing for the Jets to draft first overall if the Jets do have that pick. So right now it doesn't look like it's a great crop, but I've always said, Alan, that as long as Patrick Mahomes was taken 10th overall, as long as Russell Wilson was taken in the third round, that it's a complete inexact science, at least from our perspective.
And it's not like you say, well, what about other free agents and stuff like that? Because, bringing in a veteran, you've seen Sam Darnold, he strikes and he has a good year, and then Seattle takes a chance on him, and so far that looks good. I mean, the Daniel Jones thing, who saw that coming? No one saw that coming, but he's played really well there. So, who's that next guy that if you're the Jets you could try to grab? Well, they thought it was Justin Fields. Or at least they are thinking it might be Justin Fields, but that hasn't hit just yet. But if you're going to get a 1 or a 2 pick, a lot of times and you're a quarterback needy franchise, you got to fight. It doesn't matter if there's only 2 good quarterbacks in this draft class. You got to get one of them, and you got to pick the right one.
And
it's
just hope that you have the structure in place to develop that quarterback. Right?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because all this conversation about, well, what if they go 0-17? Are they going to blow it up and bring in another coach? I don't know what Woody Johnson's thinking. You hope that the coaches that they have that are in place are just waiting to pop. So you got to get the right players. You got to have the right coaches. Everything's got to be right. And as we've seen, sometimes you look like you're dysfunctional, and now all of a sudden the Giants look functional. It's very fluid. But I'm just glad that the Giants came off a win, and we got a big weekend.
So nice weekend. Relax. Enjoy Sunday.
Yeah. And I will be in Columbus on Monday. So if you got the day off, still tune in because we're going to be here. Peter's going to be back from Perth. Mm-hmm. So the 3 of us will be breaking down everything that happened over the weekend. Enjoy it. I'm here in Tampa. I'll have the game tomorrow. So if you
everybody watch Don. Everybody tune in to the Devils and hear Don, hear his first goal call, hear him get his first win under his belt.
And
I want all of our listeners to just support Don. It's Saturday night. Put the game on MSG. Listen to your boy. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be watching. I got nothing else going on Saturday night.
and we'll try to break it down for you on Monday.
Look at you being all calm.
So, Peter, back again. We will talk to you again at 3 o'clock on Monday. Alan, enjoy your weekend.
Love you, man.
And we will.
The Wiz has issued an upset alert. Number 1 Ohio State, Bama, Georgia, and BYU are all favored on the road.